Shoot! Get in there! Come on, vamos! What are you not saying? You lot in the chat, Arsenal fans talking to me. Emirates is quiet. Lovely. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hey, 10 seconds! What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Oh, no! Oh. Wow, he's so defensively asleep. It's mad in the dunya. Oh, lovely, lovely. Galata's in! I not say it now. It's my man. Where are the Garnacho haters now? Where are they? Rance, where are you? Where are the haters at? Where are the haters?
12 seconds later.
VAR. What? Oh, fine. Oh. God, just please, just get out of here with a 1-1. Wallahi, man, it's finished if they score. What? 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 What's this even done? Why? Is it 3-1? What is going on? I'm out. Give up on football. I give up on football. I give up on football. I give up on football. Oh, get out of here, man.
What is going on today?
The fuck's going on?
No editing.
This was not the setup.
No editing. Yo, what the fuck?
First things first.
Easy.
First things first. I see a little gap in your on your wall there, Saeed.
He was supposed to do that live.
I see a little gap in your wall there, Saeed. What's happened?
I don't know, man. There's certain situations going on, and just in general, anyway. It's time to go, man.
What's he doing?
Why has he got no top on, man?
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing my
right now as well.
I'm doing my best tapping Tobes impression, man. That man's never got a top on, so it's hot, man. I got cooked all day long, man. I'm hot.
What are you doing, man? You're killing me today. You're killing me today.
Gosh.
Oh shit!
What is going on?
What has happened to the show?
You know, I didn't even clock Matisse there. I was too busy looking at Saeed to see his reaction to the intro.
My head off with Saeed.
The intro's finished, innit? Like, that's mad.
I just see Pilot Boy sitting there naked.
Matisse thinks he's in Marbella. With the sunglasses and no top.
Now, you know what? I can't lie. I can't continue with this show. Matisse, I know the top's off, but please tell me you're wearing clothes elsewhere, bro.
Yeah.
Say no more. You ain't doing the show otherwise, bro. You ain't doing this show.
Well, I don't know, bro. I don't trust no one.
That's what Toby would look like if he wasn't on steroids.
I remember when GRIZZ said he was going to sit on there naked.
Yes, Huey.
GRIZZ said he was going to sit on there naked one time. Someone had to deliver. You know what I'm saying? It was 3.4K weight, and I said, this can't be no normal Big Six show. It had to be an OnlyFans thing. Let's be honest. 3.5K waiting. Like, come on, man.
Someone in the comments said you can't cook a naked man. Is this your tactic?
Bro, honestly, I'm bare. I've come honest, truthful.
You know,
I've come with no clothes. Like, bro, I'm just here to just be honest with everyone.
Bro, I can't look at him. No, man.
Yeah, don't look at me.
Matisse, do you plan on sitting here for the next half an hour topless or hour and a half?
Is it not hot? Yes, in the UK.
Bro, I can't look at you, bro. I can't talk to you, bro. I'm married, man. What are you doing?
Good. And don't cook me either.
I can't look at you, bro. Mute yourself or take off your... What are you doing, man?
Take off what? You want me to take off more clothes?
Man, I keep the shades on, you know, like you're keeping the shades on like that's doing something. You know what I mean? Covering your shame.
We got a super chat here from George. He said Matisse ain't naked. He's definitely got socks on. Big up, George. Big up, George. Let's just hope he's got more. Let's hope he's got more than socks on. Let's hope he's got more than socks on. But listen, Matisse's time will come on the show. The intro has dictated where we start. It is the Big Six fixture. This is the Big Six. Before we get into that, big up FUAD. First appearance of this season, not the first appearance on the Big Six. First things first, people, before I introduce FUAD properly, he's got a channel. make sure you go down in the description below and subscribe to his channel. And not only that, he's doing big things elsewhere, SDS. Big news coming soon. Say no more on that one, but you're going to find FUAD here, there, and everywhere real soon. So make sure you lot are subscribed to FUAD. His channel's there. And the man them too, HUGH, SAEED, GRIZZ, MATISSE, my channel, and THUGGERY. All channel links in the description below. And we've got to big up Skull as well, because he's had a difficult day with his day job, and he still managed to get an intro in. Obviously, ideally, it would have included MATISSE too, but we asked to move the show to 9:30. A couple of men, including MATISSE, said they're too tired to move it. So we've had to make do with just the one Skull Thuggery cooking up the intro. It is what it is. We move people. And you know, FUAD, big up you, man. It's been a little while. How you been, bro?
Bro, good, man. Can't complain, man. Season started all right. Everybody else has kind of been in their moments. But life's good, man. Can't complain, you know what I'm saying?
Here I am I'm telling everyone FUAD doing big things, and you've come here with worse internet than last time, bro. What's going on?
Hey, listen. Is that kind of shaky?
Oh, it's shaky, bro. It's shaky. Let's hope it irons itself out. Let's hope it irons itself out. But he is doing big things. So go subscribe, people. He's one of the man them too. So make sure you show some love. And listen, Arsenal United 3-1. And I want to set the record straight, because SAEED actually didn't show no chest for this game. So it's, you know, he actually approached the game in the right way, in my honest opinion. I think he was very humble about it. He mentioned knowing his role, or knowing United's role recently. So it's hard to really, you know, get onto SAEED. I know it's funny to see his reaction on the watch along. He's gold. Watching SAEED is gold, full stop. But not every week SAEED needs a cooking. But that doesn't mean United fans don't deserve cooking, because as much as SAEED's been humble and talking about knowing roles, I think the United fan base need to do the same. Because you're always talking about us. We're not the same level at this moment in time, people. I'm not talking to SAEED here. I'm talking to you, United fans, content creators, and people outside of the camera too. All of you. You're not levels right now, bro. You're not levels. You can laugh at us for losing the title to your rivals, Manchester City, if that makes you feel better. Keep it going. But over here, we're looking at you laughing. It's kind of sad. I used to look at Tottenham the same way. Now I'm looking at United in very similar circumstances. So take a leaf out.
You won a game, you think you're better than United? Is that what you're thinking? You won a game.
SAEED, here I am saying you're humble, you know your role, and you're
yeah, but I can take that. But then does that mean I just stay quiet while you just send shots to United? I mean, I don't think so. But I'll let you carry on your monologue, because I don't want to disturb this.
Listen, bro. Know your role, innit? Just know your role.
That's what I'm saying. And Chris, don't you think the rest of the fan base need to know their role? Because enough is enough now. Enough is enough, man. Come on.
I'm loving this, brother. Keep going, bro. I'm gonna eat chicken pasta.
Keep going.
Oh, yeah, man.
What you got there, Grizz?
Chicken pasta today, bro, is on the menu.
Chicken pasta.
Chicken pasta, man. Chicken pasta is more healthy than Man United situation right now. That's what I'm telling you, bro. That's 100%. What I'm telling you right now.
100%. And I need people to help me as well, because Marcel, he's been missing. United View, Marcel, he's been missing for 24 hours. He owes me a bit of money for that result. Big up KG. He came to deliver the money firsthand during my AFTV fan camp. So I'm up, people. Not only are Arsenal up, I'm up. So it's been a good weekend all round. But back to the monologue, as SAEED wanted to call it. United fans make me sick. United fans make me sick. Manchester City are your rivals. Liverpool are your rivals. You've been sitting there watching them win this and that for the last 7 years. And the moment of joy you lot have taken in the last 7 comes from Arsenal not winning the title last season. Look how the mighty have fallen. Remember me 2 years ago on this show, and I can say this. I'm not these Twitter Arsenal fans. 2 years on this show, 2 years ago, I didn't have no smoke for United. I barely had any smoke for Tottenham. Didn't have no smoke for Chelsea, Liverpool, or City. Why? How can I have smoke when my club's in the mud? How can I have smoke? So learn, people. United fans, learn. Your club's in the mud. Put the smoke away for at least another season, because you lot was putting pressure on us in our 3rd season to be challenging, or Arteta should be sacked. In our 3rd season. This is Ten Hag's 2nd season. You lot are bigger, greater. You had a better squad when Ten Hag came in. So are we saying that now the 3rd season United are going to challenge? The same 3rd season that Arteta was under so much pressure about to do something? Well, we'll see. We will be here live every week, twice a week. Make sure you're subscribed. SAEED, Like I said, I took you out the firing line, my bro, and then you wanted to come and defend the rest of the fan base. I don't
No, because
when
you
Arsenal
know
were
what,
in
and I'm
mud,
gonna
Saeed,
defend United.
I can't
Yeah, go
defend
on.
Arsenal fans when we was in the mud and they were showing chest. I can't. It made me sick. I couldn't defend that. So I
Yeah.
don't expect you to sit here and defend the United fan that shows so much chest for nothing.
Well, I was one of them. So I might be in that conversation. Listen, it's finally good to see that Arsenal fans have come out of the cave. I mean, this idea we're not on the same level, but what have you got FA Cup to show for it in the last 2 years or something like that? Is that all you've got? You know what I mean? But again, like I said to you, the trajectory you're on, for me, the only trajectory I've seen is Arsenal being bottlers for the past couple of years. So I don't know, this idea that Arsenal is on some sort of trajectory is laughable. But listen, let's see what they can do. There's all this false positivity, and let's see what it is. But for me, this idea that you're coming out of here and you're analysing this, when you look at the game, and I think Man United, when you look at it, should have had a penalty. The offside for me was very, very dodgy. Arsenal should have had a red card. I think there was a lot in that game that went against United's favour. So, listen, congratulations on a win. But for me, United nullified your team for large parts of that game. And I think we were robbed. I generally think we were robbed. Man United should have had a penalty. Gabriel,
what about Lindelof?
Lindelof, I'll let you argue about that. Can I just get my opinions on there? I'll let you argue with that one. Saka, again, should have had a red card. That's my argument. But for me, I don't know if Gabriel's been watching AWE or EWA, what they call it, TNA nowadays. I don't know what he's been watching. But last night, he must have watched something of that ilk. Because the way he manhandled Rasmus Højlund and the referee never seen it is absolutely kamikaze, mate. That is shocking. It's a straight, for me, penalty. He grabs around him. He doesn't get the ball. Doesn't get the anything. He doesn't even attempt to even get the ball. For me, it's a clear penalty. And the offside one, for me, I think the lines are quite dodgy. But listen, we'll leave that for VAR. We'll leave that for another story. But listen, Arsenal, you got the win, but I don't think it was as convincing as you lot think it was. I think there's more relief from Arsenal fans at this rate. You've real relief for now. But I still think you got problems. I still think, for me, you're talking about title contenders and whatnot. I still, for me, like I said to you, I've been underwhelmed by Arsenal. For the majority of the game, we kept your star men. Starboy Saka was locked up, mate, by Dalot. So, listen, I'm not proud of the performance. I'm not going to lie to you. We could have done better. But for large parts of the game, I thought it was an even game. So, that's just the way I kind of look at it, man. So, I know you've done your little speech and that, but the game was quite close. The game was quite close. Sorry?
Who was Saka locked up by?
By Dalot.
Has he returned yet?
What do you mean has he returned? He's probably in his back pocket.
Has he returned from what Jesus did to him?
Well, that's for you to kind of say, innit?
I'm waiting. I didn't see what pictures in training. I didn't see his, I didn't see him on the team bus. I don't know if they met him at the stadium or what, but I just want to know if he.
Are you convinced by that performance? Like, you're talking about title race and all that, yeah. But you're going about United's this and that, and you're not on the same level. But yet we still kept you in the game for how long? And then you obviously had that, for me, quite a lucky effort by Dekkers. And obviously you got the goal in the end, which is fair enough. But are you really convinced? You're talking about you're far away from us. But the game was quite, for me, even. I think United deserved the draw at least. That's just the way I kind of look at it. United deserved the draw at least in that game. And then obviously, the last minute, the Declan Rice one, it happened, didn't it? And obviously you got the goal in the end with Jesus.
And it was beautiful. But let's not forget Havertz basically missed the open chance in the 6-yard box. Saka missed the chance in the 6-yard box. Really, I think we edged it, especially when you add the chances in the injury time to it. Really, you lot had that one chance in the second half where you should have scored and made it 2-1. Overall, it should have been 3-2 in terms of clear-cut chances going into injury time. But in injury time, we created the two clear-cut chances. And you know what? It's funny because you're sitting here talking about refereeing decisions and whatnot, but this time last year, bro, you didn't say nothing about Martinelli's goal being ruled offside. So you win some, you lose some, swings and roundabouts. It happens, bro. It happens. And I didn't dwell on it either. I didn't say, because of that goal, I don't think that, I should be too concerned about what happened here, losing 3-1 at Old Trafford. Really and truly, I've got my own concerns this season, yes. But the fact still remains. There's levels, bro. And we're not the same level right now.
I think there's levels, as you say, but you had the quality in the end to bring on the players you did. I think that's the difference. But I don't think there was levels in that game. In the context of the game, there wasn't levels. I think United were well in the game, and I think for me, a draw was a fair result. And obviously, we lacked the concentration in the end, and you got the result. fair play. But I don't think there was levels in the game. I really didn't. I mean, that's why obviously I'll put the panel up to and we'll see what their opinions are. But I don't think there was levels in the game.
Your only big chance came from Havertz giving the ball away when Rice is in front of him. That's your biggest chance.
Yeah, but we had a goal chopped off and we could have had a penalty. Could have been a whole different game.
Yeah, but could have, should have, would have. Like I said last year at Old Trafford, could have, should have, would have.
No, if the referee did their job, it would have been a penalty. Simple as that.
Well, if the referee did their job, you would have drew 1-1 to Wolves on the opening day of the Premier League.
Oh,
Yeah, and you wouldn't have beat City at Old Trafford last January either if the referee did his job.
Let's talk about referees their job.
Yeah, man. Last time you beat us at Old Trafford with that Rashford offside or interference, what was it you said to me? Cry more? Was that what you said? Cry more?
You know, we'll talk about your team as well, because your team got away with one as well today. But we won't talk about that.
My team's top of the league, but don't chat to me. Don't chat to me. Your circus act is an absolute joke.
It still don't
Your
matter.
circus act.
You should have had a red card.
Sheikh Jassim coming in to buy us. We're all going to be saved. No, mate. Glazers stay in 10 more years.
That's what they do. They're deflecting.
Absolutely. More statements than wins this season, mate. That's what you said yourself. Don't try to put paper over the cracks. You're an absolute joke of a football club right now from top to bottom. Your team was pissed yesterday. Let's call a spade a spade.
That's what I'm saying. Again, you're not analysing. You're
no
not analysing.
threat going forward, other than Marcus Rashford and Garnacho the odd time. Your midfield offers nothing going forward. I'm going to put it on record. I wasn't convinced by either team yesterday, but you didn't deserve a win. You didn't do enough.
I didn't say I deserved the win, though. So just so you're misquoting me. I didn't say
I don't think you deserved a draw either.
I
think Arsenal was a better team.
You just said, hold on a minute. You just said they weren't convincing, and Man United were convincing.
I said I wasn't convinced by either, but you were worse than them.
So that equals a draw, then, right?
No. I think because he's judging us to a higher level than he's judging you. We didn't live up to the high level he saw from us last season, and you haven't lived up to you didn't live up to the high level that everyone expected United to start touching this season.
But nobody expected Man United to get anything from it. I think everyone predicted an Arsenal win. Yes or no?
Here, well, apart from you, here, yeah.
So no one predicted Man United to do anything. I predicted a draw just because I thought, you know what? I don't really predict losses for Man United. That's the way I got it done.
But that's why, Matisse, that's why at the beginning I said, Saeed, like, this ain't on you. But look, Rants, not Rants, KG, £50. Marcel, £50. Did Rants tell man this time? I didn't see any of the streams leading up to the game. I want to know if Rants told man. I want to know if Rants told man this time.
I don't know, chatted.
Are the t-shirts still out? Because I might grab one. I might actually grab one.
I get you at the start of the game, like no one had Man United to go there and win. But because of the size of your club and the money spent, and believe me, I know the feeling, you're gonna have expectations to go to these grounds and not play like Burnley and not play like, you know,
it was
but let me finish because you know, we can't really have a pity party for Man United going to Arsenal and holding out. Like, I get it. The fullbacks and the wingers, they will cancel themselves out. You know, Wan-Bissaka versus Martinelli, corner after corner. Dalot did a good job against Saka. Same going on the other side. You know, we didn't really see much from Rashford till the goal. And Anthony was good, hard work, dog, but didn't do nothing going forward. Martial looked like as if he was a 40-year-old man moving like, you know, he was moving mad. But he wasn't moving mad. I guess that's the problem. But Arsenal, they earned their own luck, because when you spend more time in the defensive third of the opposition, you get those little, you know, deflections or little knocks or little, you know, they go for you. The ball might fall in one place or two. If you're going to sit back, and yeah, I know you guys had possession in the first half, you didn't really go anywhere. You didn't cross the halfway line. If you're gonna play to be defensive, then you're gonna end up catching a couple licks in the defense at times. It's gonna happen. You just have to firm it. That second half was not good to watch as a neutral. I had to watch that. I was not happy.
Matisse is spot on, man. Matisse is spot on. When it comes to these kind of games where it's nip and tuck and it's going to be a goal in the difference or something like that to change the game, we've had so many of them over the years because of what Matisse said. We spend so much time in the opposition's third and we keep peppering them because you invited all the pressure on yourselves. You totally invited wave after wave of Arsenal attack, and a slightly more clinical team or a bit more creativity or a more confident Arsenal, probably last season's Arsenal, would have put you to the absolute sword yesterday. They would have put you to the absolute sword. You probably got away lucky on the grand scheme of things.
See again, like I said, maybe bias is in my side, but I'm looking at thinking United did enough to go away with a draw, a respectable draw. And I think in the end, we would have been having this conversation where, you know what, Arsenal didn't play well, Man United didn't play well, and for me, a draw was a fair result. But like I said to you, I do agree when you're caved back in and when you do have Evans and Maguire resulting in the end, I'm not gonna lie to you. I did think there would be, if there was one chance that was gonna fall to, okay, we had our Garnacho situation, but before that, it would be Arsenal because of the fact that we've got Evans and Maguire at the back. That was my kind of worry. But I thought Man United in the second half, we did enough to get a draw, and you know what I mean. The quality came in. I think who's the player that you brought in, the Portuguese Don? He came in. He's tried to spice it up because I don't think Odegaard had a great game. I'll be honest with you. I know he scored the goal, but I don't think he had a great game. And he came in, and Vieira came in, and obviously Jesus came in, and then the quality shone. So
I don't disagree. Not many players had great games. I can't lie to you. I think Vieira and Jesus came on and helped change the game. I think Rice bossed it. I think Rice was man of the match. I don't know if you disagree with that or not, but for me, Rice was clear.
Rice, yeah, quality. I'll give it up to him. He was probably the man of the match. Easy.
The goal you got is because he was out of position, and Havertz is deciding to play a loose ball through the middle that you lot nipped. Apart from that, Rice was clearing up pretty much especially that first half. You had more possession than us, which is unusual, and that was probably Arteta's tactic. He's kind of learned off of what Ten Hag's done to him before. The counter-attack has killed us. I said it on last show. Overall, last season, over the 2 fixtures, I felt United had the better of us, and I got bare stick because of it. And I think Arteta's change in tactics against Man United kind of proved that he thought the same, because the counter-attack was killing us. And it did cost us the goal because of a silly pass from Havertz. But aside from that, we had a lot of control. In terms of controlling the game, we controlled it. But you are right, we didn't create an abundance of chances. Havertz should have bagged that. Saka should have bagged that. And then it's a different story. Then we're looking at 3 goals heading into injury time, not getting 2-3 goals in injury time. So I think we deserved the win. I don't think my concerns are lifted yet because of it. But after Fulham, to play United at the Emirates and win it like that, I mean, I thought winning it with Eddie's last-minute goal last year was good. This one was even better because when Garnacho scored, I know, not just you, SAEED. I had brethren at the game, the United away end. I had brethren. Everyone was going mad. And then heartbreak. And not only that, gets smashed to pieces 2 minutes later by Declan Rice, the guy that's under so much pressure from a lot of the ops because he cost 105 million. He was man of the match. He got the winning goal. And Jesus comes on and leaves. Jesus. My guy, man. I'm not gonna
lie. I didn't even see that goal, you know. My head was gone. Yeah, my head was gone.
Yeah, you left, didn't it? You left.
You got to watch it, bro.
I didn't see it. I thought Sky Sports made an error on the title.
Oh, you thought?
I didn't clock. Yeah.
GRIZZ, you're quiet. I don't know if you wanted to have a word or.
I'm quiet because you know when you're content, when your heart's content.
I get you.
You're smiling, you know, way. I'm bemused. I'm sat here thinking Manchester United, right? We heard you're right, Turkish. I'm gonna leave Brother SAEED out of the firing line unless he wants to stand in line. If he wants to stand in line, no problem. I'll come for him as well. But I'm surprised. These Man United fans so loud after doing fuck all. What have they done in the last how many years? What have they done for being so loud again? Their biggest claim to fame of the last few years is nearly getting the Glazers out. That's their biggest claim to fame, or that's their title. You know, we nearly got the Glazers out. Yes, even that the Qataris said, yeah. All right. Even the owners have. I don't want to use rude words, man, because community man and that. But even the owners have, you know what, them. Yeah, the owners are not going anywhere. There's disruptions in the players. Every man's a alleged offender. Every other man's a alleged. What's this club going on in this club? Every man's making statements. Like I think Hughie said it. There's more player statements than wins this season. I believe that's the 3rd statement from a senior player. How many wins they got? Bomba, right? So that says it for itself. We already know Big Steve has told us year upon year that the ground's falling down. Old Trafford is crumbling to the ground. Yeah, he tells us, and nothing's been done about it. We were told about this professor. Ten Hag is the new professor. He's coming here. He claimed others clubs' eras come to an end. I think his own era is already coming to an end. I worry for the guy when players like Rashford are liking. No, but brother Saeed, when Rashford is liking a next man's Instagram, his take on, yeah, there's other things at play here. What is that?
It's fake though. It's fake, that one.
I think your club's fake right now, bro.
Well, I'm just trying to correct you. That what you said about Rashford is fake.
Maybe it was fake, but the Sancho situation ain't fake. The Anthony situation ain't fake. You know, you bought an injured striker as your star man. You bought Money Mace. You lot celebrated, oh, we beat Liverpool to Mason Mount. He chose us.
You forget, Grizz. You're forgetting the big one as well, man. Era's come to an end. I said it on Twitter. Era seems to be revisited these days. They're bringing in Johnny Evans. Obviously, Ten Hag's not happy with his own era. He wants to go back to Fergie's era.
Bro, that's I was coming down. I was saying era's come to an end, right? But it doesn't for Man United because they ended up with Maguire and Evans in the centre back away to Arsenal. What the fuck is going? Don't get me wrong. Long may it continue. But you guys are some dead food. So many. And Turkish is right. I'm going to come from the Liverpool side of things now because Turkish has done the Arsenal offensive. Hughie's coming from the local neighbor offensive, and I'm going to come from your fiercest rivals offensive because so many content creators of Man United were telling me about my team. Where's Grizz? He's quiet these days. What are you saying? Like Man United, what? Man United, what?
I'm still confident we'll finish above you, though. I'm still confident we'll finish above you.
No, that's no problem, man. That'll just add to the delusion that you know.
Well, I said it last year, and I was right.
That's the
right.
delusion that exists in you lot's brains. That's no problem. I'm not arguing with that. But Man United, what makes you lot so chesty in the last few years? What have you done? We've won every single trophy. You haven't won any trophy. I told you your biggest victory was, yeah, we done it. Qataris in. I saw so many videos of Qataris, even they're not in. Ten Hag, yeah, we got him. Money Mace, we bought Varane Champions League. Brother, all your players are injured. All your players are going jail. All your owners are coming back. They don't want to sell. What is going on at your club? Is there a solution? Do you really see? You said, I don't really see the problem. I think we were all right for a draw. Do you really see Man United perform? Was that performance like, I think Matisse mentioned it.
Listen,
you went out there and played like Burnley.
Everything's about context, Chris, man. Listen, the context of Man United is that we have no wins in 9 against the top 6. The performance for me, that's secondary right now. I wanted a result that could lead on to a bit of change in the shift in mentality of, you know what, we're not getting battered away from home. This is, again, the bar might be low, but in the context of what we've seen right there, a draw was a fair result. You get me? We nullified Arsenal, who are now apparently going to win the league. We nullified their best players, and we came with a respectable draw away from home. If you get a draw away from home at the Emirates any season, it's a good result. Let's not do this. But in the context of it right now, it was a fair result, and it was a good result for Man United to get a draw there. So I get it. You're saying, oh, Man United are finishes and that, but let's go back to the drawing board. It was a fair result.
You know what? Me being a football man, I'm looking at the way you played, the style, the mental attitude.
It's not good, but I've said that though. The style of play has to improve. I've said that, but I gave him obliged first season because in the first season we finished 3rd and we got a trophy. If you over criticize the manager and say I want style, I want everything in the first season, maybe I'm asking for a lot. But second season, I said, I need to see an evolution of your style of play. You have more players that are probably suited to your style. You're adapting now to the second year of the Premier League. It has to be better. I'm never shying away from that. For me, it would be very, very kind of wrong of me to say I'm happy with that style of football. I'm not. It has to be better. Fair. It has to be better. So I'm not going to disagree that the style of play is awful. It's not awful. It's not. Sorry, it's not. You are right. It is awful.
The amount of offensive players you had on that pitch: Bruno, Eriksson, Rashford, Anthony. Well, Anthony's offensive as in he shouldn't be a footballer. That's how offensive he is. He's not offensive as in he's attack offensive, defensive offensive. So, but I didn't see no patterns of play still. How many, like people say, oh, give him time. No patterns of play. And Arsenal weren't even great. Like Turkish has alluded to, Arsenal weren't even at their scintillating best. Arsenal, like we're going to touch upon Arsenal and a certain Havertz. I know Toby ain't here to speak on it, but Arsenal just stayed in the game and knew they're going to win the game. It was like one of those ones, like weak mentality from Man United. You took the lead, and 20 seconds later, and after that, it was like a matter of time before Arsenal score again.
Yeah.
Even without playing well. And that's a very bad state to be in. Trust me, Liverpool were in that state where we used to just turn up in games and think, yeah, we're going to lose. Man United, honestly, I don't know, man. If you see positives out of that game, fair play to Man United fans. If you're saying,
no, but I do see positives, but not something that no, I don't see progress made, but I did see positives in that we were there, the draw was there, and obviously it's all could crumble it down. But I'm not going to be like, you know what, and take it on to the next game. It has to improve. Don't get me wrong. But listen, man, I think for me, if again, people get the violins out, but there are a few injuries in this team. Once Amrabat comes in, obviously, I'm not saying that I favour Mount, but that's his player. He wasn't available. Haaland coming in now. You see what Haaland did? Martial, I've said it last game, he's finished. It's again, not a great performance. Haaland now. So let's see when he has, I would say, the spine of the team there. Once I see the spine of the team there, that's when I can judge very, very much fairly on Ten Hag. Until then, I'm still going to make excuses for him. And that's just me as a natural fan doing that. But once he has his spine in there and everyone's flowing and everyone's fit and ready, by November, December, we could have serious conversation on this big six. Really serious conversation. But for now, let him get his players back and let's see what his team can do.
What do you mean?
You're not gonna like him, but there are some. The spine of the team's not there for me. Varane is out. Amrabat will come in. Obviously, Casemiro's in there, and obviously, and the striker Haaland. Once we have the spine in there, let's go. Let's go.
Are you saying serious conversations once the spine is in? Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying serious conversation, but
that's exactly what you said.
Exactly what you said.
No, but let me rephrase that. I in saying that, but I said serious conversation about our style of play and everything. It can be put in the open, and you lot can bash him and criticize him tenfold, and I wouldn't excuse it. So, yeah.
Something I think you can bash Ten Hag a bit, and I want to get your opinions on it. And it kind of predates Ten Hag as well as your record season in, season out in the big six fixtures away. You don't turn up away from home in the big six fixtures at all. I mean, even just looking at last season off the top of my head, 6-3 at City, 7-0 at Liverpool. You've had two big six fixtures this season. Arsenal away, anybody can lose there, fair enough, but you did lose it. Tottenham away, you lost that. Postecoglou's just in. There's an issue there bigger than just the players, bigger than just the spine of the team not being there. I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, listen, if I knew an answer, I'd be rich, mate. I don't know, man. I just think it comes down to as well the home comforts. At home, I think against a big six, we have counterattacked a lot of games. There's been a certain games where we have hit teams on a break and we have used different measures. And obviously the home crowd is an advantage. Away from home, he can't do the attack and defense bit. I think he can only do one bit at a time. And obviously, we haven't seen any of the defense for so many games. So I think he said, you know what? Let's go back to the drawing board this game. And we were pretty much defending. We only had, 2 shots on target, if that. And one of them obviously was a goal. So I feel like for me, he's now going back to basics. But I feel like for me, in your second year, we need to see a bit of everything, man. I'm sorry, man. You need to see attack and defense. But you know what? It comes down to mentality. It comes down to sometimes he gets it horribly wrong because he has favourites. And also, players not performing, like Bruno Fernandes, I'm sorry, man, not performing in another big six away game. It's not good enough for me. You know what I mean? And I've said it from time and time again, is that him away from home is just basically nothing. He doesn't perform away from home. Rashford, he might get you the goal, but his overall performance isn't great. He was very, very greedy yesterday. So we're not collectively as a team away from home. At home, I see everyone fist pumping. I see them getting over the crowd. But when you go away from home, it's like they've just met each other for the first time. And it's like they're playing together for the first time. So I think all in all, I think Ten Hag needs to do better because that record will only intensify. I don't know what's our next away big six game. I don't know if it's Chelsea or I don't know if it's anyone that I know. But again, that pressure again will be on the next game. Can you win that game? So I mean, it's big pressures on Ten Hag, man, and I'm not shying away from it. I think it
get really sticky really quickly for Ten Hag, like really, because the United fan base are an impatient bunch as it is, and I believe after this international break, you've got Brighton, I think one of the first up.
Brighton, Burnley,
Evan Ferguson,
then...
my man, gonna come up there and haunt you.
Yeah.
And then you got Bayern Munich away, a place that you don't want to go when you're not feeling good about yourself. If the Champions League group goes a bit poorly for United and you drop a few more points to teams that you probably should be beating or not performing at the level that you should be, the shouts are gonna start appearing, man. The shouts are gonna start appearing.
No, I think for me, listen, everyone's got entitled to their own opinion, but I don't see, for me, the point of sacking managers, man. Especially now when we need to start building. Listen,
I think it'll be kamikaze.
Yeah. Listen, I think for me, even De Zerbi would fail under this ownership, man. I just generally this whole football club, man. I generally sometimes you need he needs the structure that's at Brighton. You need everything that comes with it, and the pressures at Man United. It's just crazy. So listen, Ten Hag, for me, I don't see the reason to sack him unless it goes horribly wrong and his position becomes untenable. So let him figure it out. Let him struggle, man. Let him, let him see what's.
It's obvious that a lot of the emphasis in the transfer window decision making has been put on Ten Hag, and it sounds like you prefer it to be taken out of his hand and go with the more modern day director of football. Doesn't what managers there, you get his opinions, but you have you have your set structure that don't rely upon the manager or managers. But he's brought in a hell of a lot of his guys, and the money spent. I know what you're saying about your ownership, because trust me, I know this as well with our ownership, but our ownership actually done a good thing bringing in Mikel Arteta and all right, I'll say Mikel Arteta. They're due with player sales. He hasn't been great with incomings. Okay, he's done his thing here and there, and he's fucked up here and there. But with Mikel, it was a good decision. So maybe you haven't found that good decision yet in terms of bringing in the right sort of manager, because he's brought in a hell of a lot of players now.
But again, that's an indictment on the football club that he's done that. The fact that he don't trust the recruitment team, the fact that he don't trust the people in charge. He's going by what he knows, and he's going by his kind of home comforts. Again, when you do that, there's a section of the fan base will say, listen, it's not on the football club. It's you're buying these players. You're buying Ajax players. You're buying X players that you know. But also, which I can give him a bit of sympathy, he wanted Kim Min-jae. He didn't get that. He wanted Pavard, didn't get that. He wanted Todibo, didn't get. There's certain key areas of the pitch he didn't get. But again, I'm not making excuses for the manager. You get me? You have to still do what you have to do on the football pitch, and that's have a style of play with or without certain players that he wanted. So listen, it is a lot of pressure. It's a lot of players that he's brought in, especially Anthony. Again, that's a lot of money we spent on that player. Mount, did we really need Mount? Again, that's on him. He bought in Haaland. Maybe did he want Harry Kane? Again, we don't know that. So there's a lot of things that he's brought in, but there's a lot of things that he's obviously not been in control of. And that all in all, man, it's bad for the football club, because it's like there's no direction. There is none. And it seems like everything, again, is being blamed on the manager when it isn't the manager. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see.
Right, taking it completely off the manager, though. I don't think that's fair, but all right, I get you.
No, I think there's a bit of both. Don't get me wrong, there's a bit of both, but mainly for me, it's the ownership, because the guidance that they put for every man.
And I think you agree with the Jadon Sancho thing. That type of management.
Head loss.
See, this is where I'm at with it. Yeah. If the manager calls me out, I'm gonna reply me. I don't know about you guys, but if someone calls me out, I'm replying. I think people on social media are taking it overboard. It's like the manager's called him out, he's then responded. Then it's like, for me, the manager shouldn't have done it.
He shouldn't have.
Indoors. He shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. I want everything indoors. But also, the fact that a player can come out.
I agree.
Oh,
I disagree.
No, do you know why? Do you know why for me this is head loss? Because it was an injury time winner, right? And then it was smacked in by a third. Even more damning. He's obviously not happy with some of the decisions in the game, talking about, this should have been this and this should have been that. Head loss. He's not thinking straight when he calls out Sancho after the match. Sancho is not on the bench. Sancho's not in the squad. I know he got asked a question, but Sancho is not liable for the performance in that game. He's not the reason why Manchester United lost. And to call him out, listen.
Brother Matisse, with all due respect, your club is also known not to be doing character references when you check on players and buy.
Yeah, but we don't know what's going on with Sancho behind the scenes.
I know we don't. Ten Hag came out and defended Sancho last season as much as he could, backed him in private and public. We're giving him time. Whatever the issue is, we're solving it. Whole pre-season later, Whole 4 games later into the season, Sancho is asked, why isn't Sancho in the squad? Because Anthony's playing like a, we know, innit, like a circus worker. Yeah, we know he's still like, so there's viable questions like, where's Sancho? And the guy can't defend him anymore. The guy has come out and told the truth. Sometimes the truth comes out when you're angry.
How do you know it's the truth, though?
Listen to what I'm saying, innit? As opposed to the political answer what he's been given. So how do you know the political answers were the truth then? Like, oh, he's got issues. Oh, there's problems.
I'm not saying he's not being truthful. Yeah.
What I'm saying is last season, Ten Hag has done that approach, innit? Last season, Ten Hag's all said, nah, you know what, Sancho, we're going to give him time to space to sort his head out. Whatever the issues are or not are, we don't know. No one knows. But you're right. It's a kind of a head loss, but head lost anger, truth comes out. And he said the guy's not training properly or whatever. And he's got every right to speak about his player because this is the manager they've entrusted to bring Man United back into the glory years, they're saying. So he needs to do it. We've done it with Arteta and we've done it. Pep Guardiola done it at Man City. Jurgen Klopp, you flush out the bums or flush out the ones that you don't want. You got to speak on it. This is where it's him or the player. You can't have player power. You can't be trying to make a successful club. This is why doing character assessments when you're buying willy-nilly is so important. This is why when you laugh when I say, yeah, Jurgen Klopp has got a no-knob policy. Like he doesn't buy knobs. This is why. Because you can't have players coming back and saying, oh, this ain't the truth. There's other situations. And then other players back in. They've had it with Maguire. They've had it with Pogba. They've had it with other people. So many issues throughout the squad of players. What's the word? Ill-disciplined, whether it's on and off the pitch. I don't blame Ten Hag at all. He has to speak his mind. And if that's the truth, what he thinks, he needs to speak on it. Sancho, no player would ever come out and say about Klopp or Pep Guardiola. Why? Tell me why, guys. Tell me why.
Too much respect.
Too much respect. Klopp and
Kevin Phillips. Did he not come out in the podcast, Calvin Phillips, and talk about what happened with Pep Guardiola? I'm sure he was in the podcast.
How often does it happen at Man United? How often does this shit happen at Man United?
Bro, it happened. It happened to Manchester City last January, and as soon as it happened, Pep sent Cancelo off to Bayern Munich. Said, "You will not undermine me." I think what GRIZZ is saying is absolutely spot on. We don't know what's true, what's false, but Ten Hag has to set a precedent. If it's true that Sancho was ill-disciplined or he wasn't doing what he was meant to be doing, Ten Hag can send out a message to the rest of his players and future players by saying, if you're going to undermine me or you're not going to go by our rules, you're going to get called out type thing. And as a player, Sancho, you can't bite back. You can't bite back. You can go in Monday morning into his office and say, listen, what was that about? Can we have a chat about this? But you don't put out statements saying what the manager said is false.
Hold on, but if it is false, hold on a second. But if it is false, then what do you want him to do? Do you want him to get called out? Exactly. You guys, hold on a second. You guys are assuming it's true. I'm not saying that it's not true. But I'm looking at it from Sancho's perspective for what he said in his statement. If somebody calls me out publicly, my boss, and says I've done something that I haven't done, that I don't believe that I've done, say Ten Hag has not been saying to Sancho, you're not training to the highest level. There could be a miscommunication. Yeah. Sancho might think he's training fine. Ten Hag might be looking at him silently and saying, no, this is not good enough. If Sancho has not been told that he's not training to the level that Ten Hag wants, that calling out could have just been caught him by shock. Now, for me personally, you're not calling me. You're not going to call me out publicly, and then I'm just going to just shut up and say nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but bro, it's no, because Ten Hag should be.
My brothers, if you got attitude, you are the problem.
Oh my God!
No, Ten Hag shouldn't be calling him out publicly. No, because
I think this is not that 1980s anymore, man. This ain't the 1980s, bro. This is we're living in the.
I think the level-headed player goes in Monday morning and says, "I think
was Ten Hag level-headed?
I think what you said was wrong, right?
Season he was,
and so. If it is wrong, Sancho can say to Ten Hag, I want you to rectify this. But if Ten Hag says no, then you can go out and make your statements. But you don't go emotional straight off the bat and start calling out people.
Ten Hag was emotional. This is what you guys are not understanding. Ten Hag
you're not understanding that Ten Hag is the manager of Man United.
I don't think Ten Hag was emotional. Cool. Guys.
He is in charge of
Ten Hag was emotional. Hold on a minute.
Hold on. SAEED.
You spoke, man. You just spoke, bro.
No, just very, very quickly. Then I say, none of us or you lot or any Man United fan knows more about Man United and training than the coach himself about the players. If the coach thinks certain players are not pulling up, then he has to speak on it. He's tried the quiet, timid, political. I'm just telling you, in the last season, all we heard was Sancho, Nana, Sancho, Nana, Sancho. Nana. He's fucking had enough.
Can I just say something? Yeah. Listen, I'm not, again, people will assume that I'm going against the manager. No, it's not. The same way you, Grizz, said, yeah, the manager has every right to speak, should be the same way Sancho has every right to defend himself. Are we not in a society where people can have...
You've got no respect for the manager, then you're gone.
Listen, again, you're mixing
What was the question about Sancho?
You can't.
Hold
you
on,
can't
I'm
say the manager's lying.
I've just said, if... Bro, are you listening to me or you're not going to listen to me?
That's a foolish argument. Everyone's got rights.
How's it a foolish argument, bro? I'm just giving my side of it.
Keep talking.
I mean, stop, bro. Grizz, you're getting too emotional now, man.
Grizz,
let's have a logical Grizz.
You're
getting too emotional, bro.
No, let me ask.
What was Ten Hag asked?
No, after he was
Where's
asked
Sancho?
about Sancho. Where's Sancho? Even when I did the watch along, right? I said, "Where's Sancho?" Because Sancho's not on the bench, and Man United got a bunch of kids on the bench. I ain't never seen none of their names before. It don't make any sense. My point is, right? Even if I'm not saying Sancho is not training poorly, because I don't know, but even if Sancho is training poorly, you're saying the only way to go about this is to say it publicly. You can, he's already dropped him. That's a statement in itself. You can make him train with the under 23s. That's a statement. You can do so many things that don't hold on a second, that don't put more pressure and more publicity on Manchester United. And by the way, let's not pretend that Sancho getting called out by the manager is not going to lead to a hyper of abuse on social media for Sancho again. And Sancho's just come from last season. He was in the mountains. I don't know what's going on with Sancho. I wouldn't be surprised if Sancho is going to come out of an interview on some podcast telling us that he's gone through this personally. I don't know. I've seen no, bro, no, Grizz, you can't just do that. Because when Trent was in bad form, we were like, oh, we don't know what's going on with Trent mentally. I'm just saying that we don't know what's going on with Sancho. When Trent was playing like shit, you were like, we don't know what's going on with mentally, so we have to be careful. I'm saying I don't know what's going on with Sancho. He could be training like crap. Maybe he's training poorly because of something that's going on behind the scenes. It happens in life. My point is that as a manager, you can make a statement without going publicly and putting more pressure on the player to make it 10 times worse. Because now what's going to happen with Sancho is he's no confidence. He's not training well. He might be something going on mentally, and he's getting shit publicly. Now you tell me how he's helped, but to send a statement to Garnacho. Come on, man. Let me not be silly.
No problem. But as I said to you,
can I come back on it?
The key word in all of this is the manager of Man United, who is in charge of those players, who's got a responsibility for the club, for the team, for the players. He's defended all his players. From what I know, Ten Hag has been praised for his handling of the Cristiano Ronaldo situation, for his handling of the Pogba, for his handling of the Maguire situation, for his handling of the Dekkers situation, for his handling of the Sancho. Sorry, okay, no problem. For his handling of the Sancho situation. If now, after a year of defending all these players and handling the situation greatly, just because he's called out a player for not training, suddenly all of that credit is lost. And now you're saying, oh, it's a head loss. He shouldn't say that.
But for me, though, Grizz,
I disagree completely.
But the thing is, let me
Ronaldo came out first.
Hold on.
Same thing. Ronaldo came out first.
Ronaldo's situation.
Let me finish and I won't speak.
It's not the same.
Let me finish and I won't speak.
Bro, you've been speaking, man.
Let me finish and I won't speak anymore. You're on mute, Turkish. And I'm going to put myself on mute.
Let Grizz finish and then SAEED, because we haven't heard him.
I'm going to go. All I'm saying is, guys, let's be real. The only person who's equipped out of speaking on a player that he sees every day in training and speaks to on a private level, we're assuming. Come on, don't be naive. Are we saying Ten Hag doesn't speak to Sancho on a personal, private level as well?
So sometimes managers don't talk to players, bro. There's been many counts where players say, I don't really talk to the manager. We don't really like each other. They might not like each other.
Okay, have that assumption then even. But the only the only person whose opinion counts in this situation is a coach of his player who sees him day in, day out and thinks or feels after all the backing that he's done for him last season, he's still not performing to the level or giving effort, he said. Effort. I think he used the word effort in training or something. I think he has every right to say what he thinks when asked.
This is where
he didn't just come out with it. He was asked a question about a particular player, and he said that's the right reason why he was not left.
That's all more the reason to kind of keep quiet about it for me. If you've been asked a situation, that's all more the reason to keep quiet about it.
It might be a case that Ten Hag has tried every method possible, like the ones that Grizz went over last season, and this is his last resort to put a rocket up the arse of Jadon Sancho and say, you need to start working. We know that Ten Hag handled the situation last year really well. He basically put his arm around the shoulder, and we're giving him the time and space to look after himself, whatever he needs to do. But now it's happening again, or something similar is happening again. And he might just feel differently. The last tactic didn't work. We don't know what's actually happened. But
that's what I'm saying. We don't know.
Ten Hag's the manager of Manchester United. He's meant to be the leader of the ship. He's meant to be the main man that you can't undermine under any circumstances. Even if you feel he's wrong, you can't go out and undermine him publicly.
Again,
that's the way it should work.
No, I disagree. This is what I'm saying. I disagree for me. Listen, the manager has every right to say what he has to say. I'm not, again...
You're saying he doesn't.
Bro, let me speak, bro.
You're saying he doesn't, though.
For me,
that's what you're saying. You're saying he hasn't got the right to speak on Sancho.
No, I said he's got the right. I just literally said it. If you're, I'm talking about your premise. I'm talking about your premise. If you're saying he has every right to say anything, I said then Sancho has every right to say everything that he's got to say.
And I'm saying that's a toxic culture.
I would,
that's
bro.
right.
Let me just speak, bro. When, like I said to you, if I was to kind of lead this situation, I would have said, Ten Hag, the way you protected him in the past, I would have carried it on. I would have said, you know what? You've been asked a question. I would have said, you know what? Maybe use something else in that word. I think when you use the word training and you're this and that, I think it would have hurt Sancho in that regard. And like I said to you, I'm just looking at it from a Sancho perspective. And then he's come out and defended his name. He believes it's disingenuous. And when you look at even more, you actually see that he's coming and saying other things that are regarding scapegoats and situation and that. So he believes very, very strongly on that. And I don't think for me, in his kind of background, whoever's involved in him would do a statement like that if they felt strongly for it. So if Ten Hag felt strongly answering that question, then for me, Sancho has the same kind of opinion on what he should do. Simple as that. Again, I'm not taking either side because it's still raw. I don't think anybody should. Literally, we've heard one story and we've heard that story. And somehow, there's a disagreement or something has happened. And when we find out, that's when everyone can have an opinion. Simple as that.
All of you are right. All of you lot made points in terms of GRIZZ is right in terms of when you look at what Sancho's done since coming to United, it's not been good enough. SAEED's right in terms of, listen, the situation hasn't been handled the best and you've got to consider both sides, like kind of what Matisse is saying. The thing is, if Ten Hag came out and answered, because the reason I asked what was the exact question I asked, if Ten Hag came out and said, you've seen Sancho play before, has it changed much? Sancho can't come out with a statement on that, really, because that's facts. We've seen that ourselves. It's not training, it's not behind the scenes. The fact that Ten Hag's left it ambiguous means that Jadon Sancho can come out and say, hold on, this guy's chatting shit. I train well enough.
The
thing, that's what I'm saying to you.
Can I just respond to Turkish? Even if that's the case, even if Sancho feels as though he's training fine, he can't say that because it's not fine according to the manager. The manager's opinion counts. He hasn't said he's got an attitude problem or he's misbehaving, whatever. He said he's not training to the required level. So therefore, Sancho, it doesn't matter what Sancho thinks. The coach of the club, the coach of the players doesn't feel as though his is his level. So Sancho needs to shut his mouth and train harder or leave. You don't come out. That's toxic now. Now it's toxic.
It was toxic anyway, GRIZZ. No, but my only thing is that
anyway,
this is the timing is poor because it's the 4th of September. Window just closed. What now?
Yeah, I know.
What now?
I should have been sold in the summer. If the right price
should have just sold him
in the summer anyway.
The relationship between those two is totally fractured now. It's totally fractured.
It's fractured. I think it's the beginning of the end. I think it's the beginning of the end. But I think for me, this idea that we can't hear two sides of the story, for me, I don't like this social media generation now that we have to believe one side. Why can't we hear both sides and then later on talk about it when it needs to be talked about? I feel like everyone wants to bash one side straight away.
That's how football clubs operate, my brother. That's like what you're talking about. You're talking about social media wars.
Me and you don't know the situation. Me and you don't know the situation.
You're talking about social media wars and we need to hear stories and it's a case. No, it's a football coach that feels a player's not playing or training properly. You either train properly to his level or shut up and leave clubs. If you think he's being disingenuous, if you think he's lying, move and then chat and then write a book about the coach. Because right now, it's the coach's word. Simple.
Say no more.
Fair enough. And listen, this is one of those shows where I'm going to warn you now that I've got a hell of a lot of super chats, and I don't know if I can get through them all because we're nearly at an hour. We've only discussed one fixture. There's still other things to discuss. So I'm going to go through the super chats, and I'm going to get in as many as I can now, bearing in mind the time, and then I'm going to keep it moving on to Chelsea. But listen, if your super chat's not read out, apologies. Like I said before, the money still goes back into the big six. It helps us do content on, you know, pre-recorded content and other stuff on the channel. So if it doesn't get read out, apologies, but I am warning people now that, especially on this subject, I've got a hell of a lot to get through. So you feel free on other subjects. This one, take it easy, calmer, people, calmer. So let me get into it, because I see 2 red ones here, and I know red means big. So let me just get these ones in from a new name. Elisa says, relax with the Arsenal criticism. The time to experiment is now, not at crunch time. Arteta clearly wants to evolve to a more patient side. Electricity of last season's team creates expectation to be the same, and anxiety in the fan base with the new approach. Covered it all round. And the second one here, Arsenal's electric football did not win last season. City's patient style did. Players are getting accustomed to the new, and the fans should place trust in Arteta. Liverpool challenged City with a great team and only came away with 1 Premier League. A different method is required. I agree with a lot of what you're saying there. Listen, thank you for both super chats. I agree with a lot of what you're saying there, but yes, City's patient style did, but City's electric styles also won them a few Premier Leagues too. So it's not always look at City and try replicate. And that's where a lot of the whole copying comes into play. But I also agree with you that patience is needed, but at the same time, it's a balance. You come off the back of a season where you're challenging. If you decide to change it up and invest in a Havertz, and it takes a while longer than even he expected it to take to start working, and it costs us, you know how ruthless football is now. You know how many opposition fans, pundits are going to be on the case. So I agree with you throughout, aside from, you know, we don't just look at City and say they've done it like that, so we've got to do it like that, when they've got a manager that has so much credit in the bank that you can't look and just say, hey, let's copy. Carl says, Ten Hag said nothing wrong. He questioned while players hide behind their PR teams. Sancho hasn't performed even before Ten Hag was there. He simply said he was not at the level, which is true. Just Waffen says, can't believe that Sancho post yesterday. Anthony hasn't been good, but Jadon at no point in 3 years has given the manager a hard decision. Ten Hag benched Rashford. He came on, scored, deliver on the pitch. Please, Grizz.
Very quickly, Hughie. Jadon Sancho was at Man City, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jadon Sancho's Manchester's headlines in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
Future in doubt after fails to turn up in training on several occasions. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Dortmund fined Jadon Sancho 8 whole week's wages, forcing to train alone, repeatedly turning up late. And again in Dortmund, Jadon Sancho admits he turns up due to a sleeping problem. But is it because of late night Call of Duty sessions with Man United, Marcus Rashford? Because it was later revealed that he was playing Call of Duty with these brothers. That's 3 incidences just in the last 2 years with other clubs.
I didn't want to question the guy because he was very young at City. He was only a teenager, and you know he was still immature. But it was no secret that he had big ideas of himself, and he had slight attitude problems. But I give him the benefit of the doubt because he's an adult now and he was a teenager back then. So I wouldn't really bring that into it. But the Dortmund ones, maybe you could.
But the case is there, though. The facts are there that he was fined for turning up late to training and attitude problems in training. At Man City, at Dortmund, who I'd say are very, very well-run football clubs. Very well-run football clubs.
Yeah. Next one in from Aya saying, Evans and Maguire in their back line, Ten Hag versus Sancho, no style of play, 2 losses already, playing Brighton next, but their biggest issue is Arsenal got a jammy win. How the mighty have fallen. HW. Nah, but for real though, what a loser fan base United have. These guys were saying they saw good signs and got encouragement from yesterday. We were a comfy 4 out of 10 and left with a 3-1 W. United at home are food every season. Ryan, big up. SAEED, hold that L. As an overall possession of play, Arsenal deserve to win, as Ten Hag set United up to just counter, like Ten Hag has a massive job on his hands. Turk, what's up with these United fans, bro? To be honest, United fans, you know, we don't get into, it's banter, but we don't get along in footballing sense. But think about us, 10 years after we fell off, after the Invincibles, we were still adjusting to be not that club anymore. So we've kind of been where United are now. So it's an adjustment period that takes a hell of a long time, in my opinion. And that's not me ripping you lot, Saeed. That's just me just being honest, because I've been there. J Mon says, come on, you Gunners, don't care about any excuses or moral victories United are talking about. Getting these 3 points over United is never a bad time to me. Haaland looks like he can be good, though. He did have a strong cameo, very physical, handful. United fans hoping for the best there. TMB says, Havertz mistake, 2 sitters missed. I'm sorry, Saeed, you are grasping at straws. Not much joy away from home with that style of play, but kudos to Haaland. He is a threat. Some more Haaland prop. Carl, 3-1 was a fair result. Arsenal have not been at their best, but how is there more questions about Arsenal than United from Saeed? Tactics were basically to lump it to Rashford and hope for the best. Nilot says, how the mighty have fallen. Saeed fighting with the panel like the draw is a win. Saeed, are you doing retro settings this season with Johnny and Harry? Final third says, Arsenal can't get away with their performances this year. They've been meaty. Don't look any closer to City. Arteta comparing Havertz to his wife is also bizarre, to say the least, making it all about him. Fair, we haven't looked great. I wouldn't say meaty. We haven't looked great. But who has looked great out of the big 6 so far? Great, we're talking about. City got 4 out of 4, but I think even Hugh, when we move on to them, City never find their rhythm early on anyway. But you wouldn't say City have been great in the first 4 games. So, but then again, City have done it, been there. So there's a lot more confidence that they can do it again with us. I'm with you. You know, we really need to kick on. Big up, guys, says Daniel. Question. What's the difference between Rashford's pen versus Forest and Havertz's one? There isn't. Neither should have been a pen. Martinez better than Romero, please. He's had Dyer alongside him. Look at him now with VDV. Saeed laughing. We got one from Harsh saying, big up the panel. All elite in your space. Love for the love. Saeed, Arsenal were better, higher XG and eye test. United unlucky with decisions for sure. But if you play like Stoke, you should expect to lose more than you win. You're welcome for the super chat. Love for the super chats, people. I'm not even doing quality control here. I'm just, getting what I can on the screen. Arian says, certain man said, quote, we don't play friendly matches. By the way, Ajax should be investigated for the way they stole 100 mil from United. Anthony has to be the worst signing ever in Prem, considering price tag as well. We'll talk. Lucas, don't forget that these players got rid of Mourinho, Ole, so on. Sancho has been fined by Dortmund, City, and England for being late and lazy. Too soft and overprivileged, surrounded by yes men. Another one from Final Third. Grizz is right. Sancho has to rise. This is top-level football, and it's United. The spotlight will never get any less bright, and the pressure not any easier. I hope he's well as a human, though. 100%. Agree with all of that. Sometimes, these big clubs, it's not mentally easy to be there in this social media age. Type in Tobes on holiday. Why the hell is this stick man topless with his tabletop chest?
Why are you here? Go and enjoy your holiday, man. Like, this guy just never takes a break, never takes a day off, man. Always arguing, even when he's meant to be in the Bahamas. Do you know what I'm saying? With the sun, with the sea, and he's still arguing. This man's topless all over Instagram. I can't have my moment. Get out here, man.
Where are we? I'm just gonna pick and choose now. Congratulations, lads, on 40k subs. We've hit 40k, people. Love for the love. We started the season on 30k a few weeks ago. We've hit 40k in about a month max. Love for the love, because everyone who's come over from my channel, appreciate it. Everyone who's yet to subscribe. We appreciate it. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. We're linking up this weekend again. We've already got content in our back pocket, and not just football topic content. We've got proper content in our back pocket, and we're going to record some more this weekend. We're also at the Sidemen game on Saturday. So if anyone's around the area before or after the game, maybe we link up and have a chat or whatnot. It's always good meeting the supporters of the show. And listen, I'm getting a lot of questions about it, but we are going to do a live show this year. Probably a couple of live shows to cover London and Manchester, so cover South and North. So that's all coming, people. Make sure you're here, subscribed, follow us on socials at The Big Six Show, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and keep up to date there. There's 11.2k in the building. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's get to 5k. I think that's fair. That's less than half. So I think we can do it. Let's get another one in. Natty says, Rance needs to come on because these strays are feisty. Can't lie, Rance is cooking Turkish if he lands in the Big Six. Hey, didn't you see the strays from me at the end of last season on Bant Sport Oozing? Well, you didn't see those strays, nah? You didn't see those strays. How's a man going to come and cook me with peanuts and crisps? You need food in the fridge, bro, to be cooking, man. You need food in the fridge. United fans, there's no food in the fridge right now to cook anyone. You can like the banter and the comedy and big up X and rants. They're my guys. But United fans, like SAEED said, know your role, and you know the rest. We move. We move.
Use it in context. When you use that know your role, though, use it in context. That's when we're talking about title races, but not individual
I'm using my
situations.
brother's words, bro. I'm using my brother's
I
words.
still can't believe you said that, man. Fuck.
Bro. I'm not gonna get into it, but anyway, we'll move.
So what time are you? 1:05. Sorry, 5 past the hour. GRIZZ, relax, bro. Give other man a chance to speak. All you do is dismiss other man's opinions.
Please.
No.
You don't let people speak, man, GRIZZ, man.
What's up?
Sorry. And we got one from Dan saying, sorry, brother, I back GRIZZ on this. Remember, your club has prior issues on player power. Backing a manager is the only thing they haven't tried. Another one on Sancho. Dropped at Dortmund for the same reasons. At Dortmund, by the way, in big games, the guy gets far too many excuses. Literally had 3 months off last season. For the first time, I agree with GRIZZ. Let's be honest, SAEED. Only in United, these crappy players post statements every time. Sick of it. Needs to stop. Happy Labor Day, Canadians and Americans. Big up my West Indies folks. Come on. Not too sure what Labor Day is about, but big up everyone in Canada, America, and the West Indies. You know what it is. Hit the like button, people. More tours on the way in the coming years for sure, because New York was big for us, and we look to definitely reach Canada. Definitely need to reach JA as well. Listen, we're just getting started. We've just moved over, people. So stay locked. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button. And let me just get one more in before we keep it moving. Sophia says, big up, lads. Just wanted to say congrats on the 40K, 50K imminent. This show has always been elite. Sophia, you've been here for quite a while. Appreciate the super chat and just appreciate you being here and part of the journey along the way, because it's been a mad journey the last 2 years. And look, 11.2K record numbers on this channel. Record numbers on this channel, and we're only a month in. Number 4 trending on YouTube a few weeks ago. Regularly getting over 90K views, a few 100K shows, another 10+K live stream. It's because of you lot. And it's because of you lot we've moved this, and we're making this more of a brand, a business, because it just started off as a show on my channel. But you lot made us think, hold on, let's take this further. So big up every single one of you guys and girls out there. And let's keep it moving. What is the... Actually, we know what the next subject is. Forest. Beaten at the bridge, Matisse. And before you go, I don't know if you're taking off them glasses or if you're trying to get your chest out again.
I'm trying to think what to do.
Let me give you about 45 seconds to think then, bro.
I say that's a loose touch, man. It's a loose touch. Oh my God, my life is over. My life is finished. Oh, it's a Langdon. Oh my goodness. How's that 21 points from 7 going? Skull is watching you with great interest. I'm sure he is.
They have got Arsenal, they have got Brentford, they come to Tottenham, then you have Man City, then you go away to St James's Park.
Oh, hey Matisse, you thought you were going to miss me?
You have Brighton,
he knows this
then you have Manchester United.
How many wins for Enzo in a Chelsea shirt? How many wins for Moises Concedo? £150 million.
And then on the 9th of December, you have
It's tragic, you know. Maurizio Pochettino, hold that.
Genuinely, I just want to know what you think about all that.
Oh my God, I haven't even seen that. Tapping Tobes at the buzzer, skullfuckery at the buzzer. Tragic, you know.
Tragic, you know.
Toby.
I did a holiday. I did a holiday thing, you know. He said, yo.
He's on holiday and he still wants violence, man. He can never just rest that guy.
He said, "Oh, hey, on to
you."
I thought me and Skull had a deal.
There's no deal.
I didn't think it was coming out. I thought we were
no loyalties in this game, man.
Brother, come on, there's no loyalties. Did you really think that? Yeah.
Why was Tobes dancing like he was at a disco? What's going on? Did this girl record that too? What's going on? This is ridiculous.
He's raining on your downfall right now. They're looking down on you, man. Can't lie.
Crazy. I thought he was just out there just getting videos of him walking up with his shoulders all tense, you know what I mean, with his bicep curls. I didn't realize he was doing dances as well. Shit. Big Six really going places, man. I'm naked, you know what I'm saying? He's dancing. It's crazy. What's next? I'm strapped in.
Karma with all that.
GRIZZ literally said he'd get naked.
Yeah, but people tuning in just now said he's dancing, I'm naked. This is a football show, bro.
Yeah, madness. So let me hear this, guys. Yeah, I don't want to be shameless in it because that's not in my name.
There's no way you're opening up this segment. There's no way.
I'm just gonna kick it off.
Hold on, know your role. Know your role. Me and you are right next to each other on the table. I stayed silent. No. I stayed silent for your segment. Me and you, we do watch-alongs together. I rang you on the phone. I made sure you were good for your game, and this is how you're gonna do me. That's what you're gonna do.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm literally raising a question. I'm saying, listen, I can be shameless, but if Man United are bad and we're all talking about Man United's problems, what are Chelsea's problems?
Wallahi, I was gonna Wahali, brother, Saeed. I was gonna say the same thing. Everything that we've said about United, 1 hour in, right? Everything we said about United, brother, this club is worse.
Why are you giggling like a schoolgirl? What's wrong with you? Why are you so giddy?
I'm giddy because this is like, we really shouldn't be like petty like this. We really shouldn't be petty like this. Yeah, we really shouldn't be laughing at the downfall, the death of major institutions like Chelsea Football Club and Man United. But my brother, you finished 12th last season, spent £1 billion and you're 11th?
With what?
12. I'm way 11th.
Yeah, Rabbi.
We need to be one up, man. Them man are 12.
I mean, let you have the floor, bro, because we got loads to talk about, but we want you to give an explanation of. In fact, Turkish, can I ask one question? I know you're the host, but I want to ask one question. Can you tell us what we were wrong about, Matisse?
What do you mean? What did you say?
Everything that we slandered as Chelsea, we've accused Chelsea of, told you going to happen. Tell me what we've been wrong. What we've been proved wrong about Chelsea.
I mean, I think it's too early to be making conclusions. It's 4 games in. It's not been a good start. Not happy. Should have won. But if you want to cash your checks, then, you do that in your own time. But I'm not cashing them for you. You know what I'm saying? It's too early for me to be making them conclusions. But listen, it was a long day. What can I say? It was a long day. We lost at home. Alanga turned up. He wasn't good enough for Man United's right flank, which right now is questionable.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna do that.
What does that make you then? If our kind of like second fiddles are beating you, what does that make us the boys, man? Comes back to the question of how bad are you lot then?
Bro, Stamford Bridge is falling down. It ain't a fortress anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, people come, FUAD was saying it. They don't, actually yesterday they were saying it. They don't take their shoes off. They don't have any grace, no decorum. They just come up in the yard and just go up in the fridge and take food and just leave, man. It's very, very mad. I'm not used to this, but Pochettino, he has to take responsibility, because I didn't like the lineup, but I tried to legislate for why he made decisions, because I feel like when managers, we may not always agree with them, but they are more intelligent than us as football fans. They know the game inside out, studied the books, did the courses. So especially with someone that I highly rate like Pochettino, I'm always going to try and understand, especially this early in, why he's doing what he's doing, especially with the lineup. But then for me, where my annoyance came from is that you didn't make the changes at halftime, because, okay, cool. You play Chilwell at left wing because you did it the last few games. Do I agree with it? No. Was I cussing about it? Yes. Do I want to see a left back at left wing, being predictable, not being able to combine with Jackson like we did in preseason on the left-hand side? Ironically enough, and I've said it before, but Chelsea fans, me included, we were cussing out the right side with Sterling not dropping any good games in preseason. The left side was looking good with Mudryk linking up with Jackson and Cuckoo linking up, Carney, and now it's the opposite. And I'm looking at this thinking, okay, you've started Chilwell. You've now gone with a centre-back at left-back at home to Nottingham Forest. I was even trying to do gymnastics. Like, maybe he's gone with 3 centre-backs because we know Nottingham Forest are, aerially dominant. They're going to try and slump it up forward, long throws, Wani, all these things. But cool. 0-0 at halftime. You have the opportunity to rectify what you've done wrong. Team's not playing well. Make your changes. Go bold. Go attacking. Get people on. Let's see what Cole Palmer's saying. Let's see what Mudryk is saying. Madueke. Even though these guys are not polished, especially Madueke and Mudryk, I think I think people are starting to see, because I wasn't gassing these guys when they came in. People had to calm me down when Mudryk came in, because I was like, why are we hijacking Arsenal for a player I'm not even really seeing? But we're here now. We got to back him, but he's not polished. He's got a lot to learn: off the ball movement, touch, finishing, all these things. So I'm not saying these guys have to start just because of a price tag, because I do think it's not always a fair playing field. Like, I see academy products come through and they're just as talented. Lewis Hall was getting a lot of props from GRIZZ, and they don't always get starts for politics. But then when the price tag players come in, suddenly they got to start and prove themselves for the rivals and the banter. I said, I don't really give a shit. Like, if you're not polished, you're not polished. It doesn't really matter where you're from. But like I said, you got attackers on the bench. You got to bring them on. And it's unacceptable to lose to Forest. I ain't going to make no excuses. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, to lose at home to Nottingham Forest is a shambles. I don't care if you got to settle things down, new system, whatever. There's certain games you must win. I'm not saying we got to win all the games. I'm not saying there's not going to be ups and downs. I'm not saying we're not going to lose here, lose there. But you have to win at home to Nottingham Forest. Because if you're not going to win at home to Nottingham Forest, a team that we knew that was going to be difficult, Man United struggled against them last week. They just got over the line. They're physical. They've brought in a lot of players. But you have to beat them. If you're going to do what I want you to do objectively, which is get Champions League football minimum, which you have to win them games. So there's a lot of people getting slandered right now. I'm not going to do none of that, because I do think the manager's mostly taking responsibility for me, because I'm not going to say Chilwell, yes, he didn't play well, but I'm not surprised he's playing left wing. Jackson, people are getting onto Action Jackson. They're going to run their jokes. They got their nicknames.
There's a lot of names for Jackson.
But do you know what it is? Yeah? Do you know what it is? Jackson missed a chance you can't miss. But the template around Jackson from pre-season, which is where everybody was getting excited, even on the panel, people say, oh, Jackson looks good. He's finishing. He's scoring 1v1s, rounding keepers. Okay, cool. What did Jackson have in pre-season? Let's strip it back. For someone who's making their debut in the Premier League, for someone that's, you know, trying to get used to the league, getting used to the team, trying to be the main man, take responsibility. He had Nkunku behind him. So we don't have that no more. So what do? We put Enzo in the 10. He's nothing like that. He's not giving you the same options in the box when the crosses are coming in. He's not giving you the same link up. He's not running in beyond. Nkunku was making these runs off of Jackson into the box. Jackson dropping deep. They had a nice little interchange. We don't have that. Cool. So Jackson's now having to drop deeper, having to do more. We look to the left wing. He's playing Chilwell. There's no Mudryk. There's no Carney. There's no one out there. So cool. Now I haven't got the left winger to link up with either. So now I'm even more starved. So all I've got really is Sterling on the right, and that's it. And the crosses are coming in versus 3 centre-backs, physical guys. And the movement wasn't great, but I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, I'm not going to lie to you. Outside of the chance, I can't be angry with Jackson. I can't.
I like your defensive action, Jackson, because that's my guy right there. And I named him fondly. I didn't name him like to slander him. But obviously, it's caught a bit of a slander name to him, right? I like the way you defended him. And I kind of agree with what you're saying, which makes your club's transfer dealings, when you know that, even more dumbfounding.
I think both strikers would have struggled up there, though. With the
some would say that was kamikaze, because what you've done since.
You're SAEED. So going up there with Mansionary, innit?
Can you use your own words, please? Don't use my words. Use your own words.
Your words are my words. My words are your words, brother. Come on, we're a team. But listen, what I'm trying to say to you, since you knew that, what did you do? Well, let me tell you what you've done. I haven't got I haven't got receipts, but people will let me know in the chat. There's over 11K in here. Someone's going to tell me who you've bought since you knew that was a problem. Since Nkunku got injured in pre-season, am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah.
You've gone and spent, I'd say, around 300 million since then. And
no. We bought a lot of players before he got injured.
And afterwards, my brother.
Yeah, but not 300 million. Not 300 million.
You bought a lot of young midfielders, prodigies that are going to be brilliant in like 2000.
Yeah, but we needed the midfielders anyway, right? We saw the game against Liverpool. Both the midfielders were shit, right?
Did you need the surplus?
No, I think one. Yes, I think one of them, not both of them. That was overkill.
Look, Cole Palmer. You bought that French kid midfielder that you're going to keep now. You brought Lavia and Casado. You needed, you say, no problem even. And then there's another one you brought as well, young prodigies that you've signed for 2085. Yeah, but yet you're here sitting here in 2023 and you're telling me about, Action Jackson ain't got a partner to play with, he's got no support, yet you're buying willy-nilly scrambled thinking, scattergun approach. Why didn't you address the problem? It's not because you didn't have money. Man United out there giving free, going for free contracts because they got the money because they spent 100 million on the likes of Anthony, whatever, yeah, blah, 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 blah. We ain't got no money because our owners are FSG. You guys ain't got that problem. You got hella money, yet you're still not addressed the issue. I agree with you, what you said, in terms of the tactical setup is wrong for Action Jackson. He was playing well with someone, and Kunku ain't there. Mudryk, we don't know. We don't know what's happened to this guy. What is he? Mudueke and Cole Palmer were standing on each other's head in the final 15, 20 minutes. They were getting in each other's way. Your brother that you sold, the one I said is good, remind me of his name?
Lewis Hall.
Lewis Hall, you sell, and instead you play Ben Chilwell left wing when Lewis Hall is more equipped to play that role, but yet you sold him. None of as I said to you, the original question was, tell us what we've been wrong in. Everything that we've suggested is coming to fruition. And it's not improving, it's not changing. Was Cole Palmer really needed? Hughie warned you about Cole Palmer. I think
it's way too early to judge Cole Palmer. He looked good.
They needed creativity. They
I
needed creativity.
all of that. I get all of that. And you're right.
Yep.
I'm not judging him. I'm not finished him. But what I'm saying is he Nkunku? Is he going to play in the hole? No. Hughie will tell you his role is right wing. I could tell you, never watch Cole Palmer like that.
I think one of the things with Poch was he was saying, I don't want to buy players that when the injured players come back, they don't make any sense anymore. So I disagreed personally. I wanted Kudus because good striker of the ball, can get goals. At least I know then he can offer that support to Jackson, and he's played as a false nine, I think at Anfield for Ajax, people were saying. But they went with Palmer, right? They wanted to get someone that when Nkunku's back, when Carney's back, they can still see of use. They don't want to get someone that's a profile like for like and then has to go and sit directly behind on the bench. My thing was, and I was talking about Taremi, just anyone that could offer an extra body in the box. Because when Chelsea are crossing the ball, when you go up against three centre-backs, you need minimum two, in my opinion, two attack-minded players in the box. Because otherwise you're just going to lose every single battle. I look at Man City with Haaland and Alvarez. When they go up against deep line defenses, they have two strikers there that if something falls to one of them, they can pounce. If one is taking up a lot of attention, then the other one is thriving because there's more space. If you're going to cross the ball, and it's happened countless times, the cross completion in this game was crazy from everybody that attempted. Some of the crosses were shit. Some of the crosses were decent, but there was nobody there to take them. Jackson's dropping deep, completing, 5 out of 6 dribbles, carrying the ball forward, looking good technically still, but then is either not getting into the box, or when he does get into the box, he's not having enough movement to get past the three centre-backs. But there was nobody else joining him. So this whole plan B of, okay, how are we going to get past a low block? We saw it with Real Madrid over the weekend, Getafe. We've seen it before. You pump loads of players into the box. Liverpool have done it before. And it's not necessarily pretty, but you just keep putting on the pressure, getting the balls into the box in the right areas, and it might fall to someone, you nick a goal. But because Chelsea not putting on players in the box, you're never going to get that.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen.
I think for me, though, listen, we can blame Todd Bowley, we can blame, all the players bought, but for me, at home, to play this, it looks like 5 at the back, and obviously you've got Chilwell as a left winger, but in reality, the formation for me, you've got 2 attackers against Nottingham Forest. That is Sterling and Jackson. For me, I'm sorry, Pochettino, this is Nottingham Forest. We're not playing, let's be honest, we're not Arsenal away. Arsenal away, you do that. Your defensive shape, and then you nick it in the end. And I think for me, Pochettino, I don't know if he's a stubborn manager or whatnot, but he has to stop this. Play people in their right positions.
Are you seriously? You're right. You're right.
It's too rigid for me.
You're playing Gallagher,
Gallagher,
Caicedo, and Enzo in a 5-3-2 at home with Sterling behind. Like, where are you trying to progress here? Are you really trying to? Do you really think Chilwell and Gusto are those type of wingers that are gonna just? I don't know, man.
I saw what he did in preseason, so I'm like, there's no way you think that Chilwell is a long-term option. I'm pissed because you've dropped 3 points in a game where you shouldn't and you can't. But I'm not worried about long-term. This is his plan, because there's no evidence to support that in his previous clubs.
No.
And there's no evidence to support that in preseason. If he thinks Chilwell's a left winger, we got a big problem. But I don't think he thinks that. I think he's thought to himself, okay, Mudrik's just come back from injury a couple of days. I'm going to leave him on the bench. Cole Palmer just signed on deadline day, not ready, cool, like everybody else who signed on deadline day in other clubs. We're going to leave him on the bench. Huh?
Is it to accommodate Thiago Silva?
No, well, again, Thiago Silva responded to this very comment like on Instagram.
Yeah, I know he's seen it.
We're not playing a 5. I would get it if we were playing a 5. You could say, okay, maybe the 39-year-old is the reason why. But we're not playing a 5. We're playing a 4. Chilwell is playing as a left winger. I know it doesn't sound right and there must be wing backs, but no. When you look at the heat map, when you look at the average position, it is a 4 and Chilwell is down as a left winger. And all Chilwell's job is to do is to make runs off the ball. If someone spots them, great. Hit him, pace him behind, maybe might get a shot or a cutback. That's it. In general play, when the defensive line is set and the defensive shape is set, Chilwell is not offering any sort of creativity, any link up, any interchange with Jackson, nothing, because it's Chilwell. So for me personally, it's not down to Silva, and I get why Silva's playing, because you think about it, Colwell's just coming to this team first season, right? The sights he's come into the team from a new league. He probably doesn't want to pair those two together. He might have played a Badia Shield with one of them, or a Fofana, who have been at the club for 6 months, a year. But with 2 new guys, he doesn't want to put them together. So he wants to go with Silva in there, which is why I said, okay, I don't like it, but I can understand why maybe you've gone with Colwell, you know, at left back with the aerial threat, and you have 3 centre backs and a 4. But don't play Chilwell. Don't play Chilwell at left wing. Don't play Chilwell at left wing. It's just not working. It's a waste of everyone's time. And if it's going wrong, don't do nothing at halftime. I was asking Tottenham fans today, I was like, is this something that's regular with Poch, where he makes his subs late? Because why are you waiting for us to go a goal down?
He does.
Why are you waiting for us to go a goal?
Yeah,
why are you waiting for us to go a goal down and then you make the changes? Now suddenly all these attackers are coming. I'm like, well, it's too late. What are we doing here? Do it at halftime. Make an early change. It's not an embarrassment for anyone to come off at halftime. If you're taking someone off at 30th minute, cool. That might be a little bit embarrassing. Not that I even care, because I'm just trying to win the game. But at halftime, you could have made changes. We've got 5 subs. There's no excuse for not being proactive. So that's where my main problem is with that.
Still think you're finishing third?
Third, fourth.
Third, fourth. No.
Do you know what? No. Do you know what it is? I was waiting for Liverpool to finish their midfield business. So now they've moved up a little bit.
Listen, I didn't see the game on Saturday because I was at our game, so I didn't see yours at all. But first of all, I can't wrap my head around how you've lost that game. It's one of those games that you must win. But second of all, I'm trying to wrap my head around is, it might be cliche to say, but with all that money spent, I'm not even trying to troll. How can you still be so bad? How can you genuinely still be so bad at this point with all that money spent? And how can you complain? Like, it feels like you're spending loads of money and there's constantly players coming through on a conveyor belt. But yet I come on here on a Monday every week and you tell me, well, we didn't have the player for this position, or there's injuries here, or there's this, that, there. It just feels like there should be an endless amount of players at Chelsea.
They sold a whole heap of players, so there isn't an endless. It's the squad size come down massively. It's still, you know, with injuries, there's I don't know, maybe 6-7 players out injured. Like, I'm not making an excuse, because even with injuries, you should be beating Nottingham Forest. But my point is that what you're expecting to see was developed and done in pre-season. There were signs of improvement, and then a couple of key players in that team that were helping this tick, like in Cuckoo, have now dropped out. Carney as well, West Ham scored, dropped out. So now he's not found a solution for those guys coming out. And Palmer may be the solution. I know you're saying he's not a 10. We haven't seen him start a game yet. We'll have to see. But at this current moment, he's trying to, like, I don't know, patch up for players not being ready training-wise, or like Lavia, or available like Palmer in terms of a start. But after the international break, you now have players back like Palmer ready, Lavia ready. I'm not expecting to see Chilwell at left wing. So therefore, I'm not expecting to see that type of attack ever again. I don't give a damn what's going on. I don't expect to see that.
Is it fair to say, after the preseason, after the spending, after the first 4 games, now after the international break, there's a lot of afters now. Yeah. Now, after the afters, you need to start seeing results after the international. 2 weeks left.
I want to see results now.
Well, GRIZZ, off the back of that, I want to say it just feels a little bit like, to me, looking from the outside in, that Chelsea spent too much of their money on for the future. It feels like there's a lot of maybe players there.
Project 2085.
Yeah. We're talking about, you know, this player might come good. You know, we don't know about this player yet. You can't judge that player yet. Instead of buying players all in that category, you didn't buy enough players for the right here, right now, who are going to come in and add right now and get you the results you need right
Guys,
now. You know,
guys, tell me-
Lavia and Kunku,
on that-
or not,
on that-
Palmer, all these guys are potential
Project.
superstars.
Guys,
But right
tell
here,
me-
right now,
tell me
none of
the
them are doing it.
experience. You know, Chelsea, when you associate the great Chelsea teams, and my God, they've had some crazy great teams. in recent- What are we talking? We're talking backbone and leaders. Terry's, Lampard's, Drogba's, Czechs, Aspilicuetas. Tell me the backbone of this team. Tell me the backbone. Chilwell and Silva. That's their leaders right now. Who's gonna if Action Jackson is struggling, who's his mentor? Who's he looking to? Like, teach me something.
Well, the
Yeah,
likes of
if
Chilwell
you
and
just
Chilwell,
start-
they're playing with kids. They're playing with kids that they can't even trust themselves. Because as Matisse said, these are players that you're saying, maybe, we don't know.
No leaders, no role models, no
Like,
captains.
even in that
no
midfield in front of
structure.
Thiago Silva is a
Just
seasoned
players.
veteran of the game. He's elite. We know this. But even the spine of his team in front of him, the likes of Enzo, the likes of Caicedo, none of these guys are like, you know, proven you're guaranteed to get this, you know, 7, 8 out of 10 week in, week out. We know they're good players and they're very talented and they have very high ceilings. But there's
I don't
not
think
that
that's an
level-
excuse. Honestly, I don't think that's. I get the Chelsea should be doing better, but I think you guys are barking up the wrong tree. I just watched Liverpool with McAllister and Jones in midfield. You tell me what is the big difference between an imbalanced McAllister Jones midfield that doesn't have experience, that you could even say if Liverpool are playing like crap, has the same inexperience, the same lack of guarantees. Who's the leader there? Who's the leader? There is no leader, right? It's Caicedo and Enzo. At the end of the day, there's too much ability in that midfield for them to be failing. I don't care about whether or not, I don't care whether or not they're 30 years old or they're 28. Bruno Fernandes is grown-ass man, captain of Manchester United. Did you see his performance against Arsenal? I don't care. If the team is young, cool. That's fine. But there's still too much quality in the team to be playing like this. The lack of experience can come when we talk about winning a title in the last couple of weeks when you're going up against a City like an Arsenal. And it's like, oh, maybe. Arsenal don't have much experience either, right? But when it comes down to your bread and butter winning week in, week out against Nottingham Forest, I'm not trying to hear that. When I look across the Premier League, there's so many young players that are thriving. Ivan Ferguson, how much experience does he have? Hattrick. I don't care. I don't care. You guys.
How much falls on the players then? I mean, like we talked about Pochettino, but how much falls on the experienced players you do have? Because when we was in the mud, I was looking at our experienced players to say, you know, and you lot are talking now, and Hugh, I wanted to cut him when Hugh spoke, but obviously Matisse were on your club. But last show, or was it a couple shows ago, my DMs were full of Chelsea fans saying I was unfair. I should have let the Sterling segment go. But do you see why I stopped it? Because I'm not about to talk about a player after scoring 2 goals against Luton. And if we're talking about experienced players that has done it in this league, he's one of them. He's not the only one. He's one of them.
For me, Pochettino, his midfield, the way that he structured it was incorrect. You've got Enzo, who's a passing master, right? And in my opinion, if you haven't seen it, then you're gonna get to know, because I'm not changing my mind on that. He's a passing master if you watch him. But this guy needs to be deeper next to Caicedo and he needs to be pulling the strings, finding the runs from Chilwell, finding the outball to Sterling. Instead, he's playing higher up, waiting for Gallagher to pass the ball to him. Why am I seeing Gallagher deeper, having more touches?
What did I say about Gallagher?
Why am I seeing, and then on top of that, we're seeing 3 centre-backs that are moving the ball methodically and slowly, and it, under these, it was so safe. They were so safe in the way that they were moving the ball around. They were so slow. Everything's at like 5 miles per hour. So for me, the manager has to recognize that and change that. If you're in the second half, take off a centre-back to say, okay, cool. You guys are not, you're not splitting hairs here. You're not playing line breaking passes. We don't need 3 centre-backs against Nottingham Forest who are not really pressing that much. Take one out. Put Enzo, get Enzo on the ball. When Enzo's already shown you against Liverpool, when he's getting on the ball and running the game, it's long. He's shown it. He's a quality player. I want him on the ball as much as possible. Caicedo's there. He was starting to move a little bit Fugazi for the goal, but I still don't have no doubts long term. And even in the short term, he's going to fix up. But I just think Gallagher should have been higher up next to Jackson, pressing, trying to get goals. It's a bit chaotic from him at times, but that's the way I see it personally. And yeah, that's for me. He just made that mistake. I think the manager's got to just get himself back together.
Fair enough.
It's not excuses. It's what I'm not happy with and what I want to see. I don't know what the chat are waffling about. Some of them excuses. What do you want me to be like? They were shit.
No,
listen,
man,
what do you want me to say?
I wanted to cook Chelsea, but listen, I think for me, Pochettino, is it too early to call him out? I think no, but you know what? You don't get time at Chelsea. One thing about Chelsea, there is no time. And when you're doing this little Chilwell on the left and that, there's certain things that will piss off the fan base. When you've got a squad that's very, very talented, and you're then being stubborn and you're being defensively, you're too rigid. These are the kind of stuff that I won't say turn on the manager, but it will very, very much
They will
kind
say,
of almost like,
I think
listen,
you're
man,
right, Saeed, they
come
will.
on.
You're right, they will. These are the things that infuriate fandom.
Infuriate fans, yeah.
Infuriate when you got bare wingers, when you've spent 300 million just on 2-3 wingers, 4 wingers, and you're not playing them, whether they're out of form or in form, they're only going to get in form by playing them. It's your job over pre-season to have spent time working on them in a formation to utilize them at home to Nottingham Forest. You didn't buy these wingers, have a pre-season to play Ben Chilwell left wing and Enzo behind Action Jackson. You did not do all of that to get to this level and this stage. Whole heap of pressure coming.
100%. But this is where the context comes in. Madueke out for preseason, so he didn't work with him. Mudryk he did work with for this game. He was coming back from a knock, so I'm a be like, okay, cool. But then after the international break, if these players are fit, I want to see them.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the fixtures for Chelsea. Yeah,
we will be there.
Oh,
we're always there.
Aston Villa and Fulham, and then and it's Burnley, and then after that it's peak. Yeah,
we don't need to go. We don't need to go through that. That's my problem another day.
Well, I think out of them next 3 is 7 out of 9 minimum. I think that should be the target.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
how many is it now?
I just want to win every game, man. I just want to win every game. I can't lie. I just want to win every game.
Let's move.
You must.
Every game, I want to win.
You need to win games of football, brother.
I want to win. I want to win, bro. I'm ready to win, bro. I'm ready.
Win games of football.
I'm ready to win.
Nah, GRIZZ, man. GRIZZ, 2028, you'll see. You'll see, man.
2028.
You know, we'll be there. We'll be there for 2028.
We will be there.
The only thing I hope for this show is that at one point Hugh has to actually like sweat on this show, because like I'm getting bored. This guy never has to sweat. He just gets to just win every week.
Whoa. Chill out,
no, bro. Everybody must. When have you ever had to must? You are always chilling.
Bro, it's 22 degrees in Dublin, man. I'm having a great time.
You're always on holiday. No, I want Man City. I need Pep to pack bags, and I need Man City to drop to like 6th, 7th one day, and I need you to be stressed.
Jeez.
I need you to be
sweating. What are you doing right now? I need you to relax.
Can I just say something?
No,
you don't want to guys here.
No.
I don't want to.
Irish brother. You're meant to look out for me. You're meant to be happy for me.
The Dublin brothers. What's going on?
The Dublin brothers.
No.
Yeah. You know what? They're just dominating, man.
I'm bored of it.
Anyone else dominate? We've not seen anyone else dominate.
We're going to talk about City soon enough. So let me do some super chats on the Chelsea stuff, because we've passed an hour and a half. We're nearly coming up to hour 40 minutes, and there's still Liverpool, big result. Man City, big result, and a Haaland hat-trick. And FUAD, he's unavailable to join, but I think we'll have a few words on Tottenham too, because I think they're actually playing quite well. So I think, you know, the Tottenham fans in the building should have a little segment, if that. But we'll see the time. We'll see the time, because GRIZZ has made a face, so maybe not. Love for the love anyway. Hit the like button, people. We haven't hit 5K yet. We've passed 3K on the likes.
Come on.
Still got 11K in the building. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Put the notification bell on. Subscribe to our individual channels. My channel, HUGH, SAEED, GRIZZ, MATISSE, FUAD's channels there. THUGGERY's channels there. We got a double from THUGGERY tonight with the clip, so I'll show him some love, because I wasn't lying at the beginning. He was a busy man today, and it was cutting it fine. And literally at the buzzer both times, he got them in. So make sure you're showing some love all around. Ian says someone needs to tell Kai Spice he cannot run in his Timberlands. Q says, I thought there was a cricket on my screen when Matisse backed his top off. Wahali Chelsea are trash. Blue Moon says, you know how funny Matisse's team is? The worst away team in the Premier League, and they can't score, let alone win. Deadest team on the Big Six. Big up you, man, though. Come on, Blue Moon. Hope you're good. PSV says, 1 billion later, not even top of the bottom half of the table. Hashtag Jack Schwai, hashtag disaster, hashtag Ukraine boat. Hold that. HW once again. I saw floats at Carnival last week move quicker than Levi Colwill for that goal. Mad. That's their Starboy centre-back, you know. Can't wait for Poch to be confirmed undeniable fraud after this Chelsea spell. We will be here. We're always here. Matt Turner, once a gunner, always a gunner. Clean sheet at the bridge. Matisse, Who do you want to buy next? January transfer window is only 4 months away. New shiny toys. Buzzing for Concedo. 2 man of the match performances in 3 games.
Don't talk to me about transfers, man, please.
He's done. He's done.
Taking
Tony
a break.
Stark says Bowley doing signings like he's DiCaprio. Under 25 only for Chelsea. Elisa again. Listen, Elisa, love for the super chats because I think that's
big up.
Wow.
£250 you spent there.
Todd Bowley, man.
It's all
Todd
mad.
Bowley, watch it.
Bro, that might be, you might be able to sponsor Chelsea's shirt, bro. Come
He's the
chat
Todd
to me.
Bowley.
Yo, we need a sponsor. Yo.
Todd Bowley and super chatters, brother.
Oh, man.
Right there.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Crazy.
Man.
Elisa says 1 billion in 3 windows places unreal pressure on the manager, and the worst part is the squad is incomplete. Chelsea will be Chelsea. Impatience will kick in. Poch will inevitably get sacked. Necessary ingredients are guidance and stability for youngsters. Very good points. Like I said, love for the super chats, Elisa, and welcome, because I haven't seen your name before. Maybe you have been about and you just, you haven't commented much, but big up. Paul says it's all on Poch. Chelsea squad isn't that bad. He's playing players out of position and not willing to change anything. 100%. But that's why I asked Matisse how much is on the players, how much is on Poch right now, because the experienced players have to stand up too. This username is mad. It's mad. But he says Nottingham Forest will move in.
What is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So the username is Backshots FC for the people listening on Spotify and audio platforms. We are there, and he says, or she says, Nottingham Forest will move in like it was carnival, giving Matisse's team back shots. Man like Colwill and Concedo was handing wines to Elanga and Tavares. Chelsea with more here we goes than XG in 2023. Love for the super chats. Apologies if I haven't got any in, because I've still got 49 exactly in the back here, but we are hour 40 in and we've got to keep it moving, people. So let's move on. What's the next most? Liverpool 3-0.
Liverpool, their little
City
Gerrard
5-0.
praise.
Sorry?
Do you know what? Yeah, that was a strike, though. Let me be honest.
Yeah,
and you know what? Let me give Liverpool their flowers, because Liverpool fans, they've been watching me and I've been watching them. And after the first game, man, we had our little battle in the window, and then we had our first game. But you got 10 points from 12 against us, and then you had Newcastle, and I gave you a lot of flowers last week, even though people were saying you didn't play well. Listen, 10 men, 70 minutes, I don't care. And then this game, Aston Villa, a good team, man. I said it before, everybody in that top 10, including West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle, Aston Villa, everybody. And then you guys, you slapped them. And I was watching the game. Me and Saeed was watching the game. We thought we wasted our time, man, because you didn't let them breathe. You just suffocated them. I looked at your lineup and I thought Matip and Gomez, McAllister and Jones is not very balanced. Could there be some jeopardy here? Nope. Foot's on their neck immediately. Salah on it. Nunes hitting the bar on it. Diaz on it. Szoboszlai on it. Fair enough. Cool. 12 points, 10 points out of 12. And the funny thing is with Liverpool is that they haven't even introduced Gravenberch. Endo was on the bench. If they can just, again, the centre-backs I still think is a mess with the injuries. And yeah, I'll keep that one. But you guys, you smashed it, man. You smashed it. I ain't even going to lie. I'm annoyed with Villa, man. These guys just came with a back five. I was like, bro, just be brave, man. Don't be scared.
I really
a high line, man.
Endorse what Matisse said. Matisse said it probably better than I could have. I'm very happy inside. I'm warm inside. I'm not gonna lie, I'm warm inside. Like, you know what I mean? I looked at the lineup, and yeah, you're right. I had the same concerns. Matip and Gomez. You already know my views on Matip, even though he's a legend of the club. But he must. He should have moved on, but he didn't. I thought Joe Gomez, for me, everyone talking about Szoboszlai and Nunes. For me, Joe Gomez was man of the match. The reason why is context. Context is he's playing with Matip. He's been under pressure. He had an awful stinky last season. And he's up against Moussa Diaby and Watkins, who are probably the two inform attackers. Did any of you guys see Ollie Watkins in the game? Did you see him? Did you see Diaby? Joe Gomez was back to his absolute best for that game. Before people say, oh, here we go, GRIZZ is saying Joe Gomez is back. No. For the last 2 games, he came on against 10 men against Newcastle, and was so clean. It was unbelievable. Joe Gomez at his best is one of the most underrated centre-backs of the Premier League. but we haven't seen Joe Gomez at his best for a long time. Chronic, bad injuries he's had. And you all laughed. You all laughed last week. Made me a meme, GIF, put it all over Twitter, Facebook, social media, Instagram. GRIZZ is calling Szoboszlai the new Gerrard. Well, you ain't laughing now.
It's still wild.
That was the cleanest of strikes.
Doesn't make any difference.
Oh, it doesn't make no difference.
Let him cook, man. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Oh, it doesn't make no
let
difference.
him cook.
This brother has come into the Premier League, played all 90 minutes into a new league. You lot keep talking about all your players need time, need adjusting, or whatever. Yeah, he's played every single minute in a team that's had 10 men twice, positional changes. He's played DM. He's played box to box. He's played as an 8. He's taken the Premier League like a duck to water. And if you're not seeing it, fair play, good for you lot. If you're not seeing it, no problem. I don't want you to see it. Keep your eyes closed. Don't watch him. Leave it. If you're not seeing Szoboszlai slowly but surely become the superstar of this Premier League, then no problem, man. He's 22. Do you know that? I know man looks 25, 26, built like a rock. 22, 6'3". Have you seen the brother's hairy legs, bruv? I'm joking.
By the way, that was a bit, you know. I don't know what you're doing there.
I know you've seen his hairy legs. I saw your tweets.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
Look, I said don't ask me.
Was he getting excited or something?
I thought the tattoos, my brothers. I thought the tattoos, but like for like HD photos don't do him any good, man. Like do all that proper. Anyway, we digress.
GRIZZ, I'm gonna do a U. I'm gonna slightly do a U here. But a couple of years ago, I said I want Szoboszlai at Arsenal. When we was doing this rebuild, I see him.
Really?
Before he went Leipzig.
Turkish talent ID, my brother.
People just want to bring up the bad ones, I call that. Sometimes mention the good ones.
Okay, Turkish ID talent right there.
Well, was that Leipzig or Salzburg?
At Salzburg.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Leipzig had the connection with them, so I think that's what.
This guy, man, tackles, runs, he's got everything. Proper all-round midfield player. But not only him, man, everyone's playing really well. Trent captain for the first time. Trent's made 2 mistakes in his last thing, but his passing is out of this world, guys. I don't know if you lot saw the game. Oh, actually, you lot did. Trent's passing is, honest to God, out of this world right now. He's playing at a different level. He's just surpassed Eden Hazard, Juan Mata, and Mesut Ozil's number of assists in 204 games. Those brothers have played more games. Do you know what that means? Have you
got 1 in 4, something like that?
Have you deep
one every 4, isn't it? Yeah.
I know, but we're so quick to shit on Trent. But look at those 3 players that I've just mentioned, Premier League legends, and he surpassed this, and he's 24 still, 25. I know people are going to say I always underplay the ages. I'll make it 26 then even. He's not. But let me overcompensate this time.
That's wild. That's mad.
It's a wild stat. Look, at the end of the day, I don't care. At the end of the day, we need to progress. We need to play better than last season. 3 months ago, Aston Villa rocked up to Anfield and bullied us. 3 months ago, the last day of the season, they bullied us. You know that? They walked through us time and time again. I know Bobby Firmino got the equalizer and it was all romance and glory and whatever. Bobby Firmino, farewell. But Villa overall in the game took the piss. This time round,
I think their high line killed them, man, GRIZZ. I know I want to give credit to you guys, but they just did what they did at Newcastle, played that high line, and then.
I disagree. I don't. That's the way they play, and they've been successful. It doesn't matter high line. They're going to play the high line against you. Let's see you utilize it. At the end of the day, you got to play. You got to put.
It's naive from their part, though. It's very, very naive. Unai Emery is a good tactician, but for me, naive on 2 separate occasions now. Listen, I'm going to give you your credit.
No, you're not. You're not. I'm not having it. Because I'm not having a game. I'm not having a team.
But again, you're not letting me finish, bro. Let me finish.
Because you're talking rubbish. So I'm going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and talk about. Let man tell me, Aston Villa were poor when we were magnificent. We were magnificent. God. Now that's 15 games unbeaten. So you lot can criticize Liverpool. You can say, yeah, the opposition's always bad. 15 times the opposition has been bad against us. They haven't been able to beat us. Carry on. I hope it continues for 40 games, 20 games. The opposition was naive. They played a different team. I can't believe they shit themselves. Keep talking. Liverpool, 15 games unbeaten. I hope it continues. We're going to finish above you. That's all I'm. You know what I mean?
From a neutral perspective, Chris, this is not coming from, you know, a side of it. I watched it. I was watching the watch along. You see me.
And people
From a
told me.
neutral perspective, I'm looking at Aston Villa. They played into your hands again. That does not mean that Liverpool can't do what they do. You know what I mean? Nunes, Salah, these guys were coming in behind and they were aggressive. And you know what? They were clinical. I thought Diaz was excellent as well. I think, you know, Diaz for me, this is the Diaz of old. I thought Diaz, would he have lost it with his injury? But you know what? He was excellent as well. But listen, Szoboszlai, I like him, man. He's technically sound. He's got goals in his game now, which for me is always a good thing. If you could be a goal scoring midfielder in the Premier League now, I think that's something that, you know, should be kind of looked upon very, very highly. And you know what? Liverpool looking good. I give it to you. Liverpool are looking good. You know, I do still believe the defense, there's some question marks for me. There's situations where Villa got in behind a few times and I thought, ooh, a little bit something there.
We've conceded.
Hold on, let me finish it. Let me finish it off. But when you consider the season you've had and when you consider the fixtures you've had, I think it's a respectable 10 points out of 12.
Respectful,
fair
yeah.
play, Liverpool.
Fair play. I think it's a brilliant 10 points. If you call that respectable, no problem, man. As I said, that's your opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you lot, you know, I think if you're not seeing it, like, because you lot call me deluded for thinking that we're going to finish second or third. I just hope that you are a little bit.
Well, you said, I think
I think I'm less deluded a little bit now.
When I look at the first 4 games, I think Liverpool have come out of it the best out of all of our clubs, because you've played 3 teams that everyone expected to finish top half, if not top 8. 2 of those away, which 2 of those are, you know, part of the big 6. So
by the way,
10 out of 12, compare that to other clubs and you know, Arsenal, who we've played, City, who they've played, Chelsea, United, and so on. Liverpool have done their thing.
After the international break, we've got Konate, Virgil, Thiago, and Trent all to come back, God willing.
That'll charge.
And Gravenberch.
That'll charge.
No,
Liverpool are back, man. Liverpool are back. Yeah.
No, I don't do foolishness like that, people.
Man said I don't get clipped by Skull.
No, but the thing is, Chris,
you
gas everything up, but you don't say the end bit. You're gassing everything up, but you don't say really the end bit.
Yeah, man, he'll gas it all up, but then when you ask him for a conclusion, he goes, I don't do foolishness.
Innit? It's like
I give you the conclusion. I see you finish second behind one of the best teams of all time.
Are you on a title charge then?
Not yet. I said when we are, I will be there. Fair. We're not there. It's 4 games into the season. You want me to talk a charge? Do you want me to be like come on, please.
Well, the way you're talking, it sounds like there's 4 games left.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like, that's what I'm saying. You're speaking as if we're there.
I'm passionate about my team, just like all you lot are. I'm very happy. We took a lot of stick. We took a lot of slander. We took a lot of shit. You lot call me deluded for thinking we're going to be back this season. I think we've shown.
The new Turkish. That's what they're saying in the chat. The new Turkish.
You know what they're saying in the chat? I have some respect, people.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying the new Turkish. What's going on?
Yeah, but people in the chat, see, I don't respond in it. People in the chat just want to see, you know what I mean, clownish behavior in it. They're talking to the wrong bloke, and if you want clownish behavior.
They're talking to the bloke who called Szoboszlai the Hungarian Steven Gerrard.
That's different. Hungarian Steven Gerrard. Bad
4 games in, he's the new Gerrard.
Not new Gerrard, see? Always listen to my words carefully.
I do. That's my problem.
He's the Hungarian Gerrard, not the new Gerrard. Aha.
Bearing in mind
early doors.
Bearing in mind the time, I want to move on to City as well. There's actually no super chats that have come in on Liverpool since we've last gone into the super chat. So relevant. I am going to keep it moving. But before I keep it moving, I forgot to big up the sponsor. Manscaped are sponsoring this show. They're sponsoring multiple shows for us. They help us do the pre-recorded content that we have in our back pocket that we brought out in the last couple of years. So if you want to, coming up to birthdays, Christmas, New Year's, whatever it is that's coming up, go to Manscaped. Use the code TB620. That's 20% off. Like I said, recently they've launched beard products as well as all the usual stuff they've got. And they've got a few new bits and bobs there as well. So make sure you go there, TB620. They'll know you're coming straight through us. There's a link in the description. You can use that and the discount will automatically be applied. So if you're enjoying the other content we're doing, if you're enjoying this content we're doing, then show Manscaped some love too. Obviously, they're helping us bring more. And like I said, we're linking up this weekend. Just to give you a little taster, we've got a football challenge in our back pockets getting edited up right now. We've got a pool tournament in our back pockets getting edited up right now. And we've got a couple things happening this weekend. Obviously, we're at the Sidemen game. That's not content. That's just to go enjoy and just, you know, have a good day. It's good weather. And then we're going to do some food challenges in the evening. And the next day, I'm not going to let you know what we're doing the next day. That one's going to remain a surprise for the people because it is a big one. And in October, we got another big one planned, probably the biggest thing that we've all, you know, tried to do together. So keep on supporting people. We are working behind the scenes to do more than this show. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed and show Manscaped some love. Hugh, Haaland getting one of the 3 hat-tricks this weekend. And when you compare his start to this season to last season, I've seen that he scored 2 in his first game. He didn't score in his second game, scored 1 in his third, and a hat-trick in his fourth.
Yep, he works on a schedule. It's rinse and repeat, man. Maybe he'll hit 36 again this season, but yeah, he's the man. He's the man, and that's where he's so important. Those kind of tight games, which it actually was a tight game. The scoreline flatters us on the grand scheme of things, in my opinion, but Haaland's the difference in those situations. You know, Haaland will make games that are actually tight look easy, and when you look back at the scoreline of those games, Haaland will be the reason that it looks easy. But yeah, 5-1, 4 out of 4, top of the league going into the international break. I mean, the last time we won our first 4 games in Italy campaign was Pep's first season. We won our first 4 games then, and we haven't done it since. And I'm really happy with the opening period of the season because even though they're not typically like the big fixtures, if you like, the heavy hitters, we had no big 6 away games, but we still played Newcastle, which I was expecting to be tougher. Sheffield United was made tough for us. All of them, after each one, I was like, okay, next week we'll probably have our beginning of the season kind of, you know, off day type thing, because we usually start off slow or it's a bit inconsistent, and it hasn't come. It hasn't come. We've passed every test so far with flying colours, and I know it's on the mind of the players that they're really hungry to avoid that inconsistency, if you like. Kyle Walker, who's about to, or I believe he signed his new contract at City, he did a really in-depth interview. It was more personal than your average, you know, I want to keep going, I'm hungry for more, yada, yada, yada. And he said things like, you know, in 17-18, we blew the league away. Why can't we do it again? The hunger's still there, essentially, without coming across too arrogant. The hunger's still there. But with the Fulham game, it was kind of a tale of 2 halves. I was on the tram to the game, and I saw that Doku was starting, and I was really excited because from the moment he came through the door, I knew he was going to offer us a different dynamic, and he did. He's quite clearly very raw. He's got a lot of development to do. He's never met Pep in person, as far as I believe, because Pep's been out with his own injury. So when he gets to meet Pep and understands the tactics and his responsibilities in the game, I'm sure he'll improve. But he's very different to the usual wingers we've had in recent years, lads. We've had those, you know, ball retaining, turning back, recycling wingers. Whereas the first time Doku got on the ball, he looked the defender in the eye and said, "I'm taking you on." And he beat him. Now, he lost the ball a good few times throughout the game, but it was really refreshing to see a winger who, you know, he was just going traditional. I'm going to go one-on-one against the fullback, and he's got blistering pace, so I can imagine him causing fullbacks a lot of problems this coming season. But it was a tale of 2 halves. I think the first half, Fulham possibly played better than us. They possibly controlled the game more than we should have allowed them to. They dictated the flow of the game at times. And then I don't know what Juan Melito said at halftime, but it worked. We came out with a different energy in the second half, and we just blew them away. Even the subs were excellent. I thought Calvin Phillips, shout out Calvin Phillips, looked all right when he came on. I want to shout out Sergio Gomez, man, under 21 Spain international. I think he got the golden boot in the under 21 Euros, or else player of the tournament, one or the other. And he's been playing left back for us since he arrived, and it's just not suited him. And then he was played in the wing, where it's his more natural habitat against Fulham. He came on and set up Haaland's last goal, and he did really well with the run he took on the fullback, and then Oscar Bob as well. So all in all, man, I can't complain. I feel really confident about City this season. I feel more confident about winning the league right now than I did at this point last season. That's genuinely how I feel, because I don't look at anybody. I'm trying not to come across as much of a dickhead as possible here, but I don't look at anybody and go, "You scare the shit out of me." I know it's early doors and things will develop, and I'm sure things will change. But as of this moment right now, there's no one I look at.
Not even Arsenal. They're levels, apparently. So not even Arsenal.
I believe Arsenal.
Hold on. What levels on you? How are you crazy? Are you Man City?
No. But no, you say you levels though. You levels. Are you levels though, Arsenal?
What levels on you, brother?
But are you levels though in general?
Man United.
Are you levels in general?
What levels on you, my bro?
Listen, back your team.
What is it with this lot, man? What is it with this lot? They always trying to butt in. Manchester's red. Remember us. We used to be great. Shush, your time's over. You're part of the history book.
Bro, I'm not asking you a question,
GCSE history essays. Man United. That's what you are now. No one talks about you anymore. You're finished. Sure.
Bro, listen. All I'm
what were
saying
you asking me,
to
Turkish? Sorry, we don't want that irrelevancy.
I was literally asking him. That's all I asked.
Don't worry about him.
This is terrorist, apparently. This is
Man said we don't do over.
Don't talk.
Man said we don't do over relevancy. I'm telling you, you gotta snatch your chain back in that city, man. It's getting out of control.
I stand down.
I'm just glad. I'm just glad at this current moment, Arsenal's not won anything.
What are you doing in West London, bro? What are you doing in West London, though? What are you doing in West London? Like, you haven't even claimed West London yet.
Hold on a second. So what you missed was your chain's getting snatched, right? Because Man City are actually winning. They won a treble in front of you at Wembley last season, right? Do you understand? Arsenal, they can do the nice things that they're doing, but they're not winning a Prem or a Champions League in front of me yet. So it's not like, oh, London's lost. Right now, London's popping, cool parties, drinks, flowing. But Tottenham, lifting nothing. West Ham, they're actually winning a Conference League. So they got a little bit of European pedigree. But again, that's none of my business because I've got 2 Champions Leagues. My point is that Man City and Manchester's out of control right now. Out of control. So you gotta get your shit together, bro. You gotta get your city back.
Listen, we still got history, mate.
You see when you told him that
we still got
history. Thing, instead of coming back with an actual rebuttal, he just goes, "Well, what about London?" Because he knows you can't fucking play about Manchester.
No, the thing is, though, we've done it the right way. I don't know what you've seen.
Oh.
But listen. I mean, we're never going to know what City have really done because right now they're under investigation. So that's all I can say. Let me tell you.
So what we've done is what you did for years.
Get involved.
We've done what you did for years. 10, 15 years ago, you'd be doing what we're doing right now. But you just don't like the fact that we're able to compete. No one could compete with you financially back then. You snatched up all the best players. You did your thing. Where your money's coming from. And now you can't handle the fact that your little neighbours across the road who you laughed at have just gone and outdone you in 10 years.
Nobody's going to give you the respect because you're under investigation. That's why, for me,
I'm here with no respect, but I'm here with all the trophies. I don't care. I don't need your respect. I'm having a great time.
For anything, when in reality,
he doesn't want your co-sign.
I'm happy to be in your shadow. Manchester's red, but we've got
the whole Premier League don't co-sign it. The whole Premier League don't co-sign it. Really, let's be honest. Like Premier League are waiting for you lot to just, get out of the way and just dissolve. You know what I mean? Because you're under 115 charges. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Sherlock SAEED. I forgot about that.
Guys, I've just got some breaking news bomber live on the Big Six. Al-Ittihad have made a £220 million bid for Mohamed Salah today.
Ooh.
Wow.
Is that pounds?
£220 million.
Bomba!
Bomba! GRIZZ bomba!
Pounds.
Yo, that's mad. That's
mad. The owner of Al-Ittihad is in London today himself. He's come down today. Big man thing. This is jokes and banter aside. This is tier 1 sauce.
What's your hunch, GRIZZ? Is it gonna happen?
Bro, 220 million.
You can't reject 220 million.
A quarter of a billion nearly for Mohamed Salah.
Bro, that's like your next 2 transfer windows.
Right?
That's the same as Neymar, isn't it? Neymar was that as well.
150 million guaranteed up front because that's how they roll. 150 million.
I can't lie. Listen, take the money, man. Take the money. Go again.
Bro,
go again.
Take the money, man.
Go again, man. You're gonna have to replace him anyway, man. He's getting old anyway, man.
I need to do about to regress. Come on, man. I'm stressed.
He's probably about to regress.
You selling Salah will undoubtedly lower your finishing place in the Premier League, but the money compensates for that. The money for the transfer fee compensates for that.
The question
you will never see that money again in your life.
The question I ask you guys as neutrals.
Yeah.
Do Liverpool finish? Because look, realistically, Man City win the title. Correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So it's not a needle mover.
So therefore, do Liverpool without Mohamed Salah finish in a Champions League spot? Is it 5 now? Yeah,
it's 5. Yeah.
I don't think
without Mohamed Salah, do we finish in a Champions League? That's what they got.
I don't think the other teams are as like guaranteed for you to be like. It puts you back in the pack, but I don't think you can look at the way we started. Look at Man United. Like it's not like as if our teams are glitz and glamour smashing it right now.
Exactly. Yeah,
bro. Listen, I think that's a lot of money, man. I can't lie. That's a lot.
I still think you can finish top 4 without Salah. Yeah, I think you can. Come on, man.
You can finish in there.
So right now, Grizz, if you sell him right
Top
now,
five.
who starts on the right for you this
That's
season?
the problem.
Can't none of them.
Diaz goes on the right, or Gakpo goes
Diaz
on the right.
goes on the right.
So you know
Gakpo
what
goes on the right, yeah.
you know what you put.
No, do Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott.
You know
Right,
what you
yeah.
potentially do if you're saying Diaz can go on the right, and you're saying you can take the money and still finish top 5 without Salah. You go for Vinicius Junior next year when they get Mbappe, and you've got the money to do it.
I was saying the other guy.
No. If he's saying Diaz can play on the
No,
right,
Diaz on the right isn't long term, man.
There's no one who stands out as a left winger in world football right now. I'm not going to only Saka. Only Saka.
That's the next up, yeah.
You could play a diamond, maybe look at a diamond.
I'm not joking. Only Saka.
If they don't win the league again this year, and he looks at that club and he thinks, "Yo, them man are bottlers, them man are, you know."
No, man, he ain't leaving Arsenal. Man.
Let's be real. If they're not showing ambition,
he's not.
He's not leaving Arsenal.
He's not leaving.
This is like the Coutinho money all over again, man.
Bro,
no,
that's
bro,
crazy.
come on, man. You have to step up, man.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
This is the big Liverpool, right?
Bro, no, all I'm saying is, yeah, you know what?
Kelly is a good shot as well. I can't even lie.
But he plays on the left, man. Everyone
but that's why I asked you, do you have someone that can play on the right? Because you can't even buy someone now that you can certainly say comes in on the right.
Brother Bowen, Jared Bowen from West Ham, my guy.
Yeah, that could work.
You man are going to be Liverpool in the 2000s.
Chris, you
my
want
guy, Jared Bowen.
You want
I'm
Anthony?
serious.
Or go and get Elise from Palace, maybe.
Yeah.
Not a goal scorer, but you have got other goals.
What did Liverpool pay for? What did Liverpool pay for Salah back in the day again? What was it?
35 million, 37 million.
35 million.
All the years you've got out of him to sell him for 220 now.
Can you imagine? You can't say no to that. You
Bro,
You can't say no to that.
You can't.
He's the biggest franchise, man.
We've been on to FSG in it.
Yeah.
You can't say no to that, man. That money's crazy, man. But
would you respect it, guys? As a Liverpool fan, I'm saying fuck.
Would you respect FSG more to say if they said no to that? Or would you think
no, because the way that they moved in the window, the way that they moved in the window, they didn't move like a team that wanted to come and take Man City's title off of them. So now, if you do this, I'm just like, what are you really doing?
But for me,
we've all agreed that Liverpool are favorites.
I think the only key in this
sets a pace.
The only key in this is
Jurgen Klopp. No, but he's not protesting to leave though. This is why it's in the favour of Liverpool. He's not protesting to leave.
He's not that bloke.
I think for me, Liverpool have made a stance. They made it clear they don't want to sell him. So I think Liverpool will be stubborn, and they'll be like, you know what, we'll come back next year.
Here we go.
I think they will be stubborn.
I think FSG do want to sell him, but I think they won't overrule Klopp. I think they won't overrule Klopp.
Would they ruin reputation of? Would they ruin the relationship of Jurgen Klopp? Well, there you go.
Yeah, but Klopp hasn't been very like smashing down the door on FSG publicly. He's been pretty well behaved, right? If 220 million comes in, can Klopp really get angry at FSG? It's too. I don't think we realize we're not talking about 150. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the straw that should have broke the camel's back. No, the straw that should have broke the camel's back is not getting a midfielder in earlier or getting a centre back. If 220 million comes in, I'm sorry, you can't get angry.
Your world-class player versus your world-class player. That's like it's like Ronaldo leaving. It's like, bro,
the way FSG put this to Klopp is they say, right, we're going to take the cash, we're going to sell Salah. Wherever you finish this season is fine. Just do your best. But next summer you're going to have a fuck off budget to work with.
Yeah.
There's no guarantees that these mother dudes will give that money. That's another problem. But I think they will.
Okay, but they must.
Yeah, they must.
But they also bid 100+ mil for Caicedo, so they have money.
They have money.
They have money.
They just didn't spend the budget.
Bro, they want to do this to Klopp. Klopp will be feeling very, very.
This is mad.
Salah, about it.
Salah. Do you remember when we sold Hazard? Right, we have never replaced him.
Yeah.
But we sold him at the right time. I'm not saying Salah's started the season brilliantly, but how long do Liverpool have of relying on Salah? What, maybe one more season after this, max?
Yeah, I agree.
220 million at this moment.
Well.
If you were selling him in his prime, all right, cool, different convo. But at 31, come on, it's a convo.
He ain't signing a new contract. So he's got 1 year left after this. So he ain't signing a new one. So you're basically going to give him away for free.
It's a bit like Tottenham McCain, isn't it? It's a bit like Tottenham McCain. Rip the bandage off, take the fat cash, and plan for life without Salah. Build.
It's
I don't know, man.
crazy.
It's not as easy as that, man.
El Etihad, the club account, has just retweeted me. El Etihad's account.
Swear.
Yeah.
Mad.
We'll see that.
Influence, innit?
We'll see how that one unfolds.
I hope Liverpool take the money because I think they'll reinvest it wisely, and I'm here for this. I can't lie. Salah's done his job. Premier League, great. We'll love you. We'll miss you.
Yeah,
and we look forward to looking. I look forward to seeing your replacement. I look forward to seeing your replacement. Please leave. Please go. Go.
On the contrary, Mohammed here says, I'd love that money, but I don't think we'd spend it well without a world-class director of football. So he thinks opposite to you, Matisse. But we will see how it unfolds. Listen, Grizz, I think he might be about to go live after this show. We're about to wrap it up. There is one super chat here on City. Enigma says, Fulham gave up after that Ake goal. Investigation needed. Make it 116 charges. And I think that's the only one on City. But listen, like I said, I've still got 50, just over 50 left here, and I'm out of time, people. I can't go through them.
They got the community, though, man. They got the community.
Like I said, I reassure you that it goes back into the brand. It goes back into the Big Six. It goes into doing us other content. So when other content comes out on this channel, everyone that's sent in a super chat has played a part in that too, as well as Manscaped. That's why I push for people to go Manscaped. If you want to buy something, if you can buy something, if there's a special occasion coming up, use the code TB620. You'll get 20% off. It helps us. You get discount. Love for the love. Make it happen, people. Subscribe. Hit the like button. And before we go, we've got a prediction table to bring up. And here it is. That's how it's looking. Game week 4 done. For the listeners,
scores.
He had that last week.
Oh.
He had that last week. So for the audio listeners on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all of that, I'm still top 4 correct scores, 21 points. Tobes is in second with 2 correct scores, 20 points. Grizz is now in third with 1 correct score, 17 points. SAEED in fourth, 1 correct score, 16 points. HUGH in fifth, no correct scores, 15 points. And Matisse, no correct scores, 11 points. So some catching up to do already there. I will publish that on the social media pages at The Big Six Show Twitter, at The Big Six Show TikTok, at The Big Six Show Instagram. Make sure you're following us up on them social media channels. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel and every single channel in the description below. Show some love in the comment section after. Keep it locked in. We're on a little break now. We are back next Thursday to preview game week 5. But there's going to be content coming out this week. I'll release the top 6 wingers of all time. Let's say Thursday, because we usually do a live show. So look out for that. Mank Talk is also back this week. Hopefully Wednesday, but if not Wednesday.
Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday. There you go. SAEED and Big back with Mank Talk. And just stay locked in. We're linking up on the weekend. We might go live on the socials as well. IG live or something like that. Because like I said, we're linking up for the weekend. And yeah, we've got big plans. Love for the love, people. Tune in next Thursday. Make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're out. Peace.